All right. Going live. All right. I had problems with my audio. So the commissioner is out there right now talking. The fans, everybody and their grandmoms out there booing him. Who is Carolina going to take with the number 1 pick? Shh. Who are they going to take? CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Eric Stone Street. No idea what that is. Will Levis. Anthony Richardson. Whoa. Kelsey, Mahomes. And a Super Bowl trophy. Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a big Chief fan. Why? Because they beat the Eagles. Absolutely. Absolutely. Travis Kelce. It's too much. Too much. Uh-oh. 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 Carolina is on the clock. Who's the quarterback of their choice? They traded up to get there. They better make the right pick. That's all I got to say. I can't say one or the other. I mean, whoever they think, whoever they're picking, they better be right. So they gave up a lot to get there. So, but whoever they take, it's going to be a face of their. Let's see, the Bears, a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and DJ Moore, and the 9th overall pick. They gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore to go from 9 to 1. I mean, it's unbelievable because you figure, the Bears have their quarterback. I mean, the Bears just really big time backed into that. I mean, they got DJ Moore. Whew. Then you figure, then as I said, then they got 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Oh man, to go back 9 picks, I think from 1 to 9. I mean, Bears really, really, really lucked out. They're going to get a really good. I mean, they can get like one of the best one of the best cornerbacks in the draft, right? They can get maybe the top wide receiver in the draft to help their offense out, to help Fields out. I mean, whether it be Johnston or Njigba, whoever they like. I mean, my God. I mean, then they're going to get like a second-round pick. Then they also got DJ Moore. So, I mean, man, the Bears are really, Bears lucked out on that one. They really did good for themselves. So we'll have to wait and see. But whoever, let me tell you what, whoever the Panthers take, it cost them a lot. They better be right, because if if they go like Zach Wilson, right? something like that with the Jets, and they're not the right quarterback. Man, they just set themselves back years because they gave up they drafted a quarterback, right? And they gave up a first, they gave up another first, and because you figure the first and the second round picks, they're supposed to be starters. They're supposed to be plug and play players, especially if you're not a good team, right? Which Carolina. I mean, if you draft in the first and the second round pick, the first and the second round pick should be just plug. Right, there you go. We'll see at the end of the season. Have fun, right? Starters. You're not drafting guys in the second round to give depth, to be backups. No, first, I mean, so they gave up, and they gave up DJ Moore. Wow, because you kept hearing a lot about the Giants, right, with DJ Moore, quite, possibly talking about maybe trading. I mean, it was last season. The Giants were attached to so many different wide receivers out there. Giants trade for this, Giants trade for that. I mean, all I gotta say, they better be right. The thing I do like though is now that they changed it, you only got 10 minutes before. It used to be 15 minutes in between each pick. Everybody's doing the due diligence, in between each pick. You calling other GMs on the phone, seeing if you got everything pretty much laid out, right? So 10 minutes is fine. What I do like is when I get to the second round and the third round, the picks are faster. Then you get to day 3, where the picks are like, right on top of each other. They go to commercial break and they come back and they got to announce like 3 different picks. I got ESPN open. I got Pro Football Network open here, just in case. Oh, wow. They took Bryce Young. They take Bryce Young. Did they take Bryce Young? On the clock. It says the Texans are on the clock. It says the Panthers took Bryce Young. Bryce Young. That's what I got here on PFF, Pro Football Network. Got Bryce Young. Panthers took Bryce Young. It says the Texans are on the clock.
So I'm going to roll with that. Now, we know that the night before, each of the top prospects, pro days, they took them out to a really nice dinner. And Wright shared with me that one of those dinners, sparks flew. There was a moment when the Panthers guys looked at each other across the table, and they knew, or at least had a good sense that this was their guy. But they still kept dating. They did their due diligence. And it wasn't until Monday when GM Scott Bitter walked into Wright's office and formally proposed the question. He popped that question knowing that the answer was yes, that they both agreed on the same quarterback, and that was it. They had their consensus cued in. Now, the marriage becomes official tonight, and Frank laughed when he said, like any great marriage, now the real work begins. Let's go to work now.
All right, thanks very much, CJ. The Carolina Panthers were also aggressive about moving up to the number 1 overall spot. They gave up 2 number 1 picks, 2 second-round picks, and the key to the deal in the end was including wide receiver
Weird.
DJ Moore, who Chicago insisted on having. The Panthers didn't want to call with him, but he made the difference in the Panthers getting number 1.
And that trade was 48 days ago. The Panthers went up there with the idea that Bryce Young would be their guy, that they were going to evaluate all the quarterbacks, and they liked a lot of these quarterbacks. But when they made the evaluation, Bryce Young was the one guy they determined to compete as a day one.
Presented. The Panthers pick is in. I got here on PFF. They got that they took Bryce Young already, and right now they have the Texans are on the clock. Pro Football PFF has the Panthers taking Bryce Young, and now they have the Texans are on the clock already. So I have no idea how they know this or what, but wow. Weird. Bryce Young, pick number 1. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, because at PFF, they haven't announced it yet or anything again. PFF has Bryce Young taken, and they had the Texans run the clock already. So we'll have to wait and see.
Mean quarterback hunters out there right now, man. And I think you hold my breath every time he takes a big shot. And the Panthers have had the first pick in the draft once before. They selected a quarterback then. It was Cam Newton. They're about to do it again tonight. The second time.
Bryce Young.
The first pick. Here comes the commission. With the action. At the first pick of the night.
Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama, pick number 1. Bryce Young. There it is. Breaking news. Greeny and Kuiper. There you go. Bryce Young. Yep. All I got to say, boy, they better be right. Because what they gave up to get him is they gave up a whole lot to get him. So now they got the Texans on the clock. Now I've been hearing a lot of things about the Texans. A lot of things, you know, I mean, like they may not be enamored with all these quarterbacks. Like they might want to trade out of that spot. So it'd be interesting to see who they wind up taking. Do they like Stroud? Right. Somebody's going to take a flyer on Richardson. Where does Levis go? Do they take on the clock? Needs. Oh, I gotta update this here. Let's see. I can go. Okay, there you go. Let me see. You know, did they go with like Jalen Carter? Did they take Will Anderson? Did they take one of the cornerbacks? Did they like Stroud? Did they like Levis? All right. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. They're still on the clock. On the clock. So if you go to PFF, apparently, I mean, I'm getting their information because they had Bryce Young being taken about, from what I saw on the TV, they got Bryce Young that was being taken a couple minutes before it actually got announced. So they got the Texans on the clock. They can't have. They got 5 minutes left. The Texans got 5 minutes left. Still waiting for that first trade too. You know, so. That's always, you're always waiting for that first trade to pop up too as well. So they got the Texans, 5 minutes to go. Then after that, then you got the Cardinals after that, right? You got the Cardinals and you got the Colts, the Seahawks. Obviously, they got that. They did good because they got the pick from Denver, who stunk. They got it from Russell Wilson. So the Seahawks have multiple first-round picks. So, all right, they took C.J. Stroud. The Texans, C.J. Stroud, number 2 overall pick. So. Yeah. So, all right. So we got C.J. Stroud, the Texans, the first 2 picks, quarterbacks off the board. We got Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So now, who is on the board? Who we got? Right now, we got the Cardinals are on the clock.
I want to point out that the quarterback coach of the Texans is Juwan Johnson, who coached TJ Stroud at the opening of the Elite 11 Finals when TJ was the MVP. So he certainly has a lot of familiarity with him.
All right. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Cardinals are on the clock.
Right now, we'll see if we get the big surprise. Right now, Green.
All right, guys, thank you. And so for the last several weeks now, the suspicion here has been that they would go defense. If the Texans.
Okay, yeah. So you still have you still got the big time defensive players out there. You got Carter and you got Anderson, and then of course you got the cornerbacks. Now the thing is here now with the Cardinals, obviously they don't need a quarterback. Says need PFF says their needs are guard, center, defensive line, edge, and cornerback. So they'll probably take either Carter or Anderson. I think Carter might slip a little bit, maybe because it was off the field issues. So quite possibly look for the Cardinals take Anderson. Right. I mean, very good edge rusher. That'll certainly help the Cardinals out quite a bit. It's way too early to take anybody. Unless they fall in love with like Gonzalez or Witherspoon or something like that, one of those cornerbacks. But all right, so we got C.J. Stroud, pick number 2. Pick number 2, C.J. Stroud. There you go. Look at that suit. But let's also not forget Haskins. Not saying he's going to be Haskins, but a lot of people wanted the Giants to take Haskins over Daniel Jones because Haskins completed 70% of his passes. He had all these phenomenal numbers and everything, and he wound up turning out to be a dud. I'm not saying this guy is, but just because you have phenomenal numbers in college does not translate always to the pros. So obviously, you wish him nothing but the best, but just because, Greeny on ESPN is reading off a bunch of, his stats and all these yards he threw for and everything, but a lot of other guys drew for yards as well too, and didn't turn out to be too well in the pros. So we'll have to wait and see. But you always wish him nothing but the best. But 6'3", nice height. All right, Young, that's his problem. A little, questionable. Smaller, shorter, right? So he doesn't have the easiest of times. Okay. But once again, you got with Stroud, who he's thrown the frickin' ball to. He has great touch, but you look who he's throwing the ball to. How many wide receivers from Ohio State that they just keep churning out in the first round, So, sometimes it's also who you're throwing the ball to, too. But he's all right. So we got now the Cardinals are on the clock. They only got like 4.5 minutes left to go. It's amazing how fast this goes by. All right. Cardinals on the clock. I'm staying at staying tuned here to PFF because they're letting me know. They let me know. I guess it's probably because this is on the world, the World Wide Web or whatever, right on the internet. And as soon as they type it in, you get the information. I guess I'm a minute, from whatever's going, all the stuff that's going on out in Kansas City, for it to go to the satellite and come down to my TV and all. I guess I'm a few minutes behind, I guess. So whatever's happening on from it's just not PFF, but I'm sure there's other ESPN, some of these other have are updating their websites with who's picking who and all that stuff and everything. But right now we got let's see. Yeah, it says okay. The Cardinals are on the clock. They have about 3.5 minutes left to go. So I mean, they should be coming in real soon. Cardinals said they need a guard, a center. It's way too early for that. From the Cardinals take that. They needed a defensive lineman, edge, or cornerback. So they could if they fall in love with one of these cornerbacks, or if I would be the safest. I would probably go Anderson. I'm thinking Anderson would be a real good pick for them. The thing is also going to be kind of interesting to see with Carter with his off-field issues, how far does he wind up sliding? So, but we'll have to wind up waiting and see. Hey, what's up, Terrence? Will Anderson? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Will Anderson. Yeah. See, I'm going on PFF here, and I guess it's because I'm looking on the TV. It must take because this is out in Kansas City. I'm in New Jersey. It must take a couple minutes for the pick to come in, for the go hit the satellite and come down to my TV or whatever. So it must be a nice size delay. But once on PFF, they're updating it, and it's almost like instantaneous. So I know the pick that comes in way before it gets announced. What? Wow. Houston. Wow. Houston trade. Houston moving up to number 3. Really, just heard that, but I don't know. I still saying okay. Oh no, that's I don't know. I got the Cardinals are on the clock. I still see the Cardinals on the clock. They haven't announced a trade yet or nothing, but on ESPN they just said, oh, on the clock. Okay, on the clock. Houston traded. Okay, yep, just popped up. So looks like the Texans. Okay, they're on. They just traded. I wonder what they traded away to move back up there that high. So it looks like. I mean, well, I'll tell you what. If I was I'd be taking Anderson anyway. You can't go. I don't think you can't go wrong with Anderson. I mean, so they went up and they got Stroud, and now they got to have back-to-back picks. So I'm interested to see. Cardinals traded to pick the Texans. I wonder. We'll have to give the what the pick is in. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. Let me go back to PFF here. Yeah, it took Anderson. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The Texans took Anderson. So PFF used pick Will Anderson. So the Colts are on the clock. Pick is in. Colts are on the clock. So now where do the Colts go? Where did the Colts go? So they got the best defender and quite possibly the best. Possibly, I don't know, the most valuable offensive player. So the Texans looks like they did pretty good for themselves. I hope it's worth their while. I'm interested to see what they wind up giving up as far as picks. Picks to move up that high. So So Booger McFarland says Anderson's got to be on the edge. So, but I mean, he may not be obviously the greatest of all time, but I mean, good pick. That's crazy. So, I mean, how often do you see something like that? The first, like picks 2 and 3, the same team. Whew. So they moved up. So I'm very interested to see who they want to, who they had to trade away. What picks they had to give up to move up that high. Because to move up to number 3, whew. I mean, you saw what it cost the Panthers to go from 9 to 1, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore. Whew. All right, so here we go. Select Texans. Houston Texans. Will Anderson. Jr. I'm sorry, I always forget Jr. Will Anderson Jr. Good, solid freaking pick right there, baby. Good. First true freshman to start at linebacker for Will Saban, Alabama. First true freshman. Holy frick. I mean, but then again, you also, realize, why is Alabama so good? Oh, well, every year they're so good. Well, you get the best in the country, I mean, Louis Saban, don't get me wrong, is a phenomenal coach. Don't get me wrong. Maybe the greatest of all time, whatever, however you want to grade it. But, he's also, when you get talent like this, it's not hard to win a lot of games. I mean, so the Texans did good for themselves. Texans did very, very good for themselves. But once again, I'm anxious to see what they had to give up to move up that far. All right, so who we got? No, we got now. Okay, on the clock, the Colts. Colts are on the clock. Got 8 minutes left. So, Colts. Oh, I don't know. It's weird. I got on ESPN on the computer. Says the Colts have about 8 minutes to go. Then I look on the TV and it says the Colts have 6 minutes to go. Weird. I think ESPN is like my. Let me see. Let me see if I can refresh this. Maybe I got to. No. I don't know. Do new. But I'm on PFF and they don't have the countdown. So I got to look on there ain't no countdown. They just say the Colts are on the clock. But the nice thing is that I'll know way before they announce it. But yeah, I mean the Texans. Well, I mean you got to give it to the Panthers too. They moved up. They got the most. Who they feel, right? I mean, Young better be the guy. If he's the guy, if he's their guy, they did good. If he's not, they set themselves back a long time. So, but I mean, then you got to give the Texans a lot of credit as well, too. Now with the Colts, interesting to say, I mean, where do they go? Where do the Colts go? Because, I mean, I think they had like 38 different quarterbacks start for them last year, right? More news. Hold on. Shefty, what's up? Richardson. The pick is in. Who do we got? Who we got here? Richardson. They took Richardson. Yep. There you go. They went off that. Boy, I tell you what, they better be right there. Richardson. Okay, so you got the Seahawks on the clock. They got their pick. Okay, from they got their pick from the Russell Wilson trade. They got to thank Denver. Thank you, Denver. We got pick number 5. You're gonna have Russell Wilson. We got pick number 5. So they don't need. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, the Seahawks, man, 2 first-round picks, right? I think number 5 and number 20 or 5 and 21, somewhere around there. I'll tell you, real good. I mean, they got themselves. They can have the pick of any cornerback that they want at pick number 4. That's not a phenomenal. I mean, once you start getting into the late teens and the mid 20s, a lot of those guys start having second round grades. So, but I mean, if you're jumping up and you're going to grab a corner back, one of those first. I mean, I don't. From what I'm just hearing at all, there's no there's no sauce on the side. Gardner, maybe he's a little bit better than some of these, but I mean, very, very good cornerbacks. So if they want to take their pick of the Seahawks, pick of their whatever cornerback they want. Oh yeah, they and I said they got where the Seahawks picking at? So they got pick 5. Is it 20? 20. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, let me tell you what. Oh yeah, they did good. I mean, getting that Russell Wilson trade. So it'll be interesting to see it. Well, I mean, PFF has Witherspoon, the cornerback from Illinois, ranked higher. Okay. Let's see. And again, Gonzalez is like number 12. I mean, there's Nolan Smith. There's Cansey. Branch, I think Branch. I don't know if Branch take Branch that low, but I mean, but they could grab themselves a cornerback. But Anderson, pick 4, Anderson. Wow. I'm sorry, Richardson. What am I saying? Anderson, Richardson, the quarterback. Florida. The dude is that was one of those things with Richardson. That was one of those things, Richardson, is that, I mean, he's only started 13 or only played in 13 games in his college career. Okay. I mean, the athletic ability, you can't question. I mean, you see him when he's running around in his shorts, flicking the ball 60, 70 yards, hitting a guy in the stride and all that, all that. I mean, so the ceiling for him could be like, astronomical. Okay. But, so they better be right. I just hope for their sake he's right on this one. I mean, there's no denying that the athletic ability there. It's just, playing quarterback and in the NFL is a little different beast. So I mean, obviously you wish him nothing but the best. But that was one of there's a couple guys like Robinson. Where's Robinson going to go? Right? Who's going to go out of their way and grab the first running back off the board? Where's he going to go? Is he going to make it out of the top 10? Is he going to go in the teens? Is he going to fall in the 20s? Right? Richardson was another one of those guys, right? Somebody gonna take a flyer on him because he's very raw. I mean, he's phenomenal talent, speed, right? No denying that. Okay. I mean, they just showed him throwing a pass on a dime to a guy running the route down the sideline. They on ESPN. They just showed that. Okay. And he hit the guy in stride. Okay. The problem was as soon as he snapped the ball, he took 2 steps back and he was staring down at the sideline the whole time, just holding the ball like this the whole time, waiting for the guy, hit the guy in stride, beautiful pass and all. He took 2 steps, 3 steps back, whatever it was, standing there, just staring right there. Right. Can't do that in the pros. All right. Okay. You got to, if you do that, if you forget about it, so very, very, very raw. Okay. The sky's the limit, but also there's a basement for him too. So hopefully for his sake, hopefully for their sake, he's right. All right. So who do we got now? All right. Now we got Oh, all right. Anthony Richardson. Okay, the Seahawks. Okay, they're on the clock. What are the Seahawks? Okay, Seahawks got 4 minutes left to go. 4.5 minutes to go. As I said with them, yeah, I mean, they on PFF, it says they need a guard, a center, defensive line, and edge. Well, wait. I want to, it says C, so I'm not sure if C means. Maybe it's cornerback. I can't say whether, maybe center back. Maybe it's cornerback. So maybe a cornerback is going to come off the board here. So we'll have to, interested in say, because if they need a cornerback, they're in prime position for that. I mean, if they need two cornerbacks where they're at 5 and 20, I mean, you'd hate to almost say it or whatever, but I mean, if that would be a little crazy for them to do something like that. But I'll tell you what, if the Seahawks wanted to double dip on cornerback, this would be it. This would be the year to do that, because I bet you at 20 they could probably get somebody else, like maybe a Joey Porter, maybe a Banks falls down to 20, somewhere around there. So that, I mean, if they need, I'm not that familiar with their total lineup, but I mean, if they needed two cornerbacks, they're in perfect position for that. They can get two cornerbacks, okay, in this draft, and don't have to worry about a cornerback for whatever, a long time. They'll be set. As long as they feel comfortable with Geno Smith. Now that's the thing with Geno. What do they got? They got a little under 3 minutes to go. Do they feel, I mean, because I mean with Geno Smith, is he I mean, they could also try to, maybe if they're going to take a flyer on maybe Will Levis. Right? Be interesting to see. They got a little under 2.5 minutes to go. So on PFF here, the pick for the Seahawks should pop up really soon. Really soon. I'm anxious to see who they take here. Because after a while, these picks are going to start affecting the Giants, right? So I'm sitting on my couch here. Hold on. Oh, that's a little bit better, I think. Yeah. There's no support from my back. All right, so they're on. I hear they got like about a minute to go on the clock. So the Seahawks pick should come up anytime now. Did they take Geno Smith's replacement? Yeah, I mean, did they want to take a flyer on? I mean, that's the other thing is, there was a few guys. Okay, there was actually, I guess the big three question marks. Jalen Carter, okay, was hit with his off-field issues. Okay, where's he going to fall? Right, because I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of but I just know he was in a situation, so I don't know how true it is or this or that, but if it's true or whatever, how far is he? Can't deny the talent, right? How far does he fall? So there was him, there's Richardson and Robinson. Okay. So now we know about Richardson, right? He's gone already. Where does Robinson go? You know what I'm saying? I said, with us Giant fans, if the Eagles at number 10, see, I could see the Eagles also maybe grabbing a cornerback too, because what they got, the Eagles, they got Slay and they got Bradbury, but they're expensive. Okay. They're, not saying aging, but, Bradbury's, a decent cornerback. He's decent covering the number 2 wide receiver, but he's expensive too. I'm not saying old, but he's older than a draft pick. Okay. So if you draft a cornerback for the Eagles in pick number 10, okay, overall, did they take yet? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Weatherspoon. There you go. They took the cornerback. Okay. So the first cornerback is off the board. Right. So now the Lions are on the clock. says their needs. They need a wide receiver, tight end, or a defensive. So I'm not sure what the. Okay, I'm not sure. Defense. I mean, they could go Carter. Actually, they just let it go. They just traded away Acuna. So I don't know. I mean, they could maybe go for a cornerback as well, too. Right? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this starts affecting the Giants, right? At you know what I mean? Yeah, Jalen Carter. Yeah, I mean Carter would be really good for the Lions. Oh, they're overlooking, you know what I mean? So Goodell's coming out right now on ESPN to announce the Seahawks taking Witherspoon. All right. All right. So the Seahawks. Okay, the Seahawks pick is in. Seahawks. Yeah, I know the Seahawks pick is in. It says weird. We got Detroit is on the clock. Okay, as I said, they could, cornerback, right? They could go Carter. I mean, you also look. I mean, they took Hutchinson too, right? Last year. I mean, if they wanted to, if they just saying if they wanted to, right? Say they took what's his name, Cansey, right? They want to take Cansey. I mean, there's also Nolan Smith, right? You got Hutchinson on one side and one of those other guys on the other side to have a nice dynamic duo like that. But I mean, that was one of their problems last year. The Lions was defense. Okay, you'll notice that they had really really good offense with Goff, really good. Okay, so I mean, their one problem was a lot of times they had to win shootouts. Okay, they didn't have the best of defensive. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions went defense here. Now, as I said, once again, it's kind of early. I really think early to take a okay, it says the Lions got 6 minutes left. But I really think it's way too early to take a wide receiver. But you never know. Somebody's going to take in Jigba or Johnston. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is the Lions says their needs. Let's see, the Lions here on ESPN. They say, inside linebacker, tight end, what about? Wow. It says they got defensive tackle. They need defensive end. It says they need tight end. They need running back. I think it's, excuse me. I think it's way too early for it to grab Mayer, a tight end. But they could use a defensive lineman. And if for whatever reason, if they, you do your due diligence with Carter, without question, you do your due diligence with him, So if everything checks out with Carter, he may not be such a bad pick after all for the Lions, because I mean that was their one problem last year. I mean, then they took Acuna, whatever his name was, from Ohio State. I forgot what it was, like 3 years ago or so. They took him like number 4 or 5 or whatever it was overall. Now he's gone for a 5th round pick. I mean, wow. You know what I mean? So, see, that's the problem with drafting and drafting wrong. They shouldn't be having to worry about drafting a cornerback now, because they should have their cornerback. The Giants really shouldn't be so much worried about drafting cornerbacks now. Why? Because they have DeAndre Baker and Eli Apple. Now, I know Eli Apple is from 2016, but still, right? If they hit on those picks, we got our cornerbacks. We shouldn't have drafted maybe Neal. Why? Because we should have Eric Flowers, right? We should have Thomas and Neal, right? So, it's on the clock. Oh, no. Oh, wait. It's the Cardinals. Because they traded? Is there a trade? Pick 5, pick 7. What? Cardinals are on the clock. Oh, okay, the Cardinals must have traded with the Lions, I guess. Wait. Hold on. I guess the Cardinals traded? Cardinals just traded, I guess, with the Lions, because now all of a sudden they're on the clock. I missed that. Well, see, because right now, because unfortunately ESPN's on a commercial break, so there's no news flash. Adam Schefter coming in, I got a trade, right? So there's none of that. So, but now I got the Cardinals are on the clock. So I guess they traded with the Lions to move up. I don't know. Be interesting to see what the Cardinals need a lot. I mean, they're a hot mess, boy. I'll tell you. I mean, they're a mess. They need a lot of stuff. So I don't know, but I mean, they need a lot. So let's see here. So the Cardinals are on the clock. The Seahawks surprise everyone taking. Okay, no, nope. All right, well, I don't know. So they come back from the commercial break. Hopefully it's after this one here. Okay, we're going back here. Now hopefully they're going to announce. Yeah. They took Paris Johnson, the tackle. Okay, there you go. All right. Adam Schefter. They're turning up to 6. Lions traded with the Cardinals. Hi, I'm Adam Schefter. I know everything. So, they took Paris Johnson, offensive tackle. That's what Schefter said. They took Johnson to protect Murray. So, there you go. That's why they moved up. I don't know. I mean, hopefully as we go along, I'll find out. Well, we'll start finding out what they had to trade for and all of that. But Cardinals moved up. Cardinals need a lot. I mean, one thing is definitely without question. Oh, there's my dog. Oh, there's Randy. What's up, buddy? He likes it when I rub his belly. I gotta rub his belly. I'm not rubbing his belly. He's not happy. I gotta rub his belly. See, you gotta keep rubbing the belly. Once you stop, so you go like this, he'll start reaching for you. Right? So you got to keep rubbing the belly. I got to do this at nighttime too. When we go to bed at nighttime, he gets in bed, he sits down next to me. I got to rub his belly for like about a minute. Then he lays down, then we're okay. But if I don't rub his belly, he takes his paw with his claws and he starts scratching for me. So I got to rub the belly. Then what he'll do is then he'll lay down. I rub his belly for about a minute or so. He'll lay down and I'll be okay for a while. So it's a good pick for the Cardinals. I'm not sure exactly what they had to give up to get that, but if they think that, that's the tackle, they think. So here we go. Here's Roger Goodell announcing it. Paris Johnson Jr. He's all pumped up. All right, buddy. All right, lay down, pal. All right. Paris Johnson Jr. All right. Well, there you go. All right. So the Raiders are on the clock now. Raiders once again. They can use some stuff here too. They could use. Yeah. Well, they traded away Waller. They could use a tight end, but I think where they're picking at, absolutely not. Pick 7, no. I think it would be a bit of a stretch to take May or whoever at number 7. But they need a defensive line. Okay, they need a cornerback. So look for maybe Carter or maybe Gonzalez. right? So Johnson Jr., Paris Johnson Jr. So hopefully, hopefully, well, they moved that. They want to make sure, I guess maybe they wanted to jump up in front of, I guess, the Raiders or whatever. They thought maybe they might be taking them. So, I mean, he's a good, solid tackle. Is he picked number 6 in the draft? Well, Booker McFarland said that they wanted the best pass blocking left tackle in this draft, and they got it. So I mean, you're only going to go so far as Kyler Murray goes. Okay, Kyler Murray's not going to lead you to the Super Bowl. Okay, running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Kyler Murray's a phenomenal talent and all of that and everything, but he's also obviously short, so it does help sometimes for him to roll out, right, to get better vision down the field. But he's a Kyler, a very good talent, but he just can't run around creating 24/7 trying to create plays, right? He needs some protection. So I think that was a good pick for them. So now the Raiders now said that they got about 5.5 minutes to go. 5.5 minutes to go. All right, the Raiders are on the clock. They need. Oh, okay. According to PFF, the Raiders need a quarterback. Jesus God, I've never seen a laundry list this long. A quarterback, tackle, guard. I guess a cornerback, defensive line. No. A center, cornerback, and a safety. I mean, they got, according to PFF, their needs 7 of them. I mean, 7. That's really bad. So be very interesting. They could go anyway. I mean, they could take Carter. They could take a cornerback. I'm not so sure how enamored they are with like maybe Will Levis. Right. Let's see here. Who else? Levis. Well, there's Skoronski. Right. I mean, everybody said there's Carter, Peter Skoronski, Levis. I don't know, BJ Robinson. That's a bit high, but they take a wide receiver. I mean, but Richardson, Gonzalez, right? Nolan Smith, Cansey, right? Brian Branch. He might be a stretch for where they're picking at to pick up that high. Miles Murphy. So let's see here. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me see. Quarterbacks. Who do they got here? PFF. Okay. Young's gone. Stroud's gone. Levis, Richardson. Oh, okay. They got Hendon Hooker. He ain't going. So Will Levis, right? I guess he'll be the next one to go. So, but you got to fall in love with him. I mean, you got to, I was kind of hearing some sketchy things about him. He's like bulked up too much. He looked all kind of tight and everything and whatnot. Had a lot of freaking muscle, and sometimes a lot of muscle is not the best. They're showing a picture of Christian Gonzalez, as they say in the green room or whatever it is. I mean, they could certainly use him. I mean, heard nothing but a lot of good things about him. So, what we got? The Raiders got 3 minutes. According to on ESPN, they said they got on the TV, they got 3 minutes left. Okay. And their pick isn't come in yet. So their pick should be coming in any time now. But I said, but this stuff is going to start affecting the Giants, right? Because, haven't had a wide receiver off the board yet. Okay. Obviously haven't had a center come off the board yet. Right. I don't know if the Giant, the Giants are so much falling, if one of the edge rushers, Tyree Wilson. Okay, there you go. The edge. Okay, from Texas Tech. Tyree Wilson. Where? Let's see. I'm trying PFF. Tyree Wilson. All right, PFF had Tyree. I mean, this is just PFF. That's all it is. I'm looking at. They had, yep, there you go, Tyree Wilson. What's his name? Mel Kiper. Yep. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so now we got, the Falcons are on the clock. Okay. PFF has Tyree Wilson. As PFF is graded number 20, the 28th ranked guy, PFF. But he's 6'6", 271 pounds. I mean, my God. I mean, if you're going to, if an edge rusher, if you're going to, you know what I mean, 6'6", 270, that's ideal. An edge rusher, okay, from Texas Tech. He'll be 23 years old and will have a length advantage against almost every tackle he faces in the NFL. He has an inside-outside versatility, put up 50 pressures this past season. 50 pressures. So you can't argue with that, guys. I mean, hope, as far as, hope he's their guy. Okay. I mean, they when Mike Mayock was their GM, they made some really bad picks. Really bad picks. So really, really bad picks. Very questionable bad picks. So, edge rusher is one of the ones they need. But I mean, according to PFF, right? Tyree Wilson he was far down the list. So, but I'll wait and see. Yeah, pass rusher. They keep talking on ESPN. They haven't announced the pick yet, but they keep talking pass rusher, pass rusher, pass rusher. Here he comes. Here comes Roger Goodell. Okay. On the clock, Tyree Wilson. All right. The transfer from Texas A&M. He's got a suit on. He's got all flowers on and everything. He's got a chain, a couple chains. Look like they weigh about 30 pounds between the two of them. I mean, so long arms. 6'6", 271. I mean, Sam, dude, if you're going to chisel somebody out to make a 6'6", 271. Very, very. Oh yeah. So they're showing some highlights of him. Wow. He's got a freaking punch to him too, right? He has like a couple of them when he had a couple of the highlights I've seen that the tackle was going backwards and he just punched the tackle. Whew. What do we got? Tyree Wilson just had another surgery. Oh. I mean, that's, hopefully it's, they should be doing their due diligence on this kind of stuff. So, I mean, for their sake, knock on wood, hopefully everything's okay. But I mean, it's almost like with Andrew Thomas. He had problems with his ankle and his feet, right? His rookie season. People, Andrew Thomas stinks. He got beat all the time and this, that, I mean, if you got a problem with your foot, you got a problem with your ankle, you can't, right? Anchor yourself down, right? You're right. I mean, it's the same thing with edge rusher. I mean, you gotta, you gotta, from your waist on down. I mean, you can have whatever. I'm not saying a broken rib, but I mean, you can have a sore shoulder or something, or whatever. But if you can't, from the waist on down, if you got something going, you got a bad knee, an ankle, or a foot. I mean, especially an edge rusher. Oh, damn! He just picked up the commissioner. Almost threw. I love some of these hugs you guys give the. They pick the commissioner up like he's a doll. It's a rag doll. Just picks him up. I mean, hopefully for their sake, he's doing good, hopefully. So we got so we got the Falcons on the clock. They need a quarterback, right? It says here, they need a wide receiver and an edge rusher. Same thing. I mean, oh my God, they took Bijan Robinson. Did you see that? They got Bijan Robinson. That's where he went. Falcons, Robinson. In a way, I'm kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. As I said, I mean, the Eagles, no matter what, are going to, as long as they stay healthy, the Eagles are going to be phenomenal this year. They have to stay healthy. Okay, but I was if they, they're going to take a running back, the Eagles, somewhere along the line, because there's too many good running backs. They'll take a running back. My thing was, were they going to take Robinson? That's the big thing, right? Because I mean, with their offensive line, with Jalen Hurts, with Goddard, with DeVonta Smith, with AJ Brown, if they took Robinson, man, I mean, they're going to be good no matter what. Okay, so as long as they stay healthy. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But B.J. Robinson, there you go, to the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Take a cornerback, defensive line, edge rusher, a wide receiver. There's no question about that. I mean, there's no doubt at all. Okay, about Robinson. I mean, it's special talent without question. There's nothing, you can't. There ain't no denying that. The thing about him is, he can run. Okay, obviously, he's a good pass receiver, but he's good. He's good at blocking too. I mean, he's got everything. Okay, so that's why I was kind of afraid the Eagles might want him again. I mean, Eagles are still in phenomenal shape. The Eagles got pick number 10. Okay, I could see him grabbing a cornerback. I can also see them maybe if Carter falls to them, maybe grabbing him. Because one thing the Eagles always try to do is always try to keep that offense and defensive line stacked, right? Even if it means grabbing somebody, okay, who winds up being like a backup. Okay, they took the guy, I can't remember what the guy's name was last year. The Eagles wound up taking, and he didn't, I forgot what his name was. I was just talking about him with my friend. But, he wound up being, he wound up pretty much being like a backup last year for him. I think he was injured a little bit too. But, but I said the one thing the Eagles like to do is they like to keep those offensive and defensive lines stacked. So it'd be interesting to see where they wind up going. But as of right now, okay, the Bears are now on the clock. Okay, obviously the Bears got their pick, obviously. Whoop. Okay. This was the Panthers pick, right? The Bears were at 1. Panthers were at 9. Okay, Bears were 1. Right, they switched. I just hope, really, really hope for the Panthers' sake, they got the guy right. Because they gave up a lot. I mean, you realize how far just to go up 8 spots, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore. Whew. But so now, okay, the Falcons pick is in. So they haven't quite. I think the commissioner is going to walk up now and announce Robinson. Is he coming up? You see how many people there at Kansas City? My God. Whew, there's a ton of people there. As far as the eye can see. Okay, here comes the commissioner. Okay, here he comes. All right, so he's going to announce Robinson. The pick is in. All right. Oh, they're going to have somebody announce it.
Sisters of Kansas City. Chris and Shane are a true testament to the power of mentorship.
You're going to have somebody announce the draft pick. Just like the guy last year announced the pick for Kayvon forgot what the guy's name was. The guy he was all he was like all freaking out and jumping up and down and getting all kind of excited and everything like that. Oh, here we go. Pig is in. He's Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Is you gonna announce it? Come on, dude. There you go. Bijan Robinson. There you go. He's now an Atlanta Falcon. There you go. So. All right. So, there you go. Oh, the Eagles traded. Eagles traded up to get Carter. There you go. See, the Eagles always do stuff, I guess. Always doing stuff. Always, you know what I mean? Howie Roseman's always like a wheeler and a deal. He moves up one spot. Just moved up one spot. Yeah, traded this, and you know what I mean? You got, I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Howie Roseman moves up one spot, and he went from I think 10 to 9 with the Bears. I guess he was worried about somebody jumping up to get him. But I said, but he took Carter to restock the defensive line. There was nobody in the offensive line. Unless maybe Skoronski, I don't know, but he wound up taking Carter to restock that defensive line because I think Cox is gone after this season, all that. So he's restocking the line once again. But it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. How I'm the wheeler of the deal. I'm going to move up one spot. I'm going to drop back 2 spots, trade this, and then we're going to trade you, pick you up, going to drop this, going to pick this guy. I mean, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. He can't go a draft without just sitting still and just, you know what I mean? Absolutely amazing. Has to move up one spot to grab Carter. But that's for the Eagles. So the Eagles, once again, are stocking up that defensive line. Okay, they lost a couple guys in free agency. Okay, but now they got Carter. Okay, so I get, as long as he's, I guess maybe not going to jail or whatever. I mean, wound up, I guess, being a good pick for the Eagles. But so Jalen Carter. Yep. Jordan Davis last year. Yeah. So we're talking about the Eagles picked Jordan Davis last year, who didn't really turn out to have a phenomenal rookie season. He was hurt, I think, a little bit. He did some backup play, but didn't have a phenomenal season. But Jalen Carter is now a Philadelphia Eagle, pick number 9. He moved up. I don't know what the it does. They don't show you. Yeah, so they got Jordan Davis and Carter and Davis. So they got the 2 guys that were at Georgia, right? So, but it's simply amazing just to move up one spot. I mean, simply amazing. Howie Roseman can't just sit still and all and everything. Simply amazing. Oh yeah, I'm moving up, I'm moving down, I'm moving over. I'm Howie Roseman. Get the hell out of here. Get the heck out of here. So Robinson didn't fall to the Eagles, thank goodness, but they got Carter. So they got a phenomenal defensive, you know what I mean? Phenomenal. So now whatever they flip-flop with the Bears. So now the Bears are on the clock. Okay, the Bears are on the clock. I don't know what the Eagles wind up trading. I haven't seen somewhere along the line. Usually they come out with the trade details and all, but I haven't seen anything yet as far as any, all these trades we've had so far. What draft picks we're getting swapped back and forth and all and everything. But it's simply amazing with the Eagles. I mean, the guy Howie Roseman, absolutely amazing. Just to say, I traded, I moved up, I moved down. Get the hell out of here! You're gonna freaking suck anyway this year. I freaking can't stand the Eagles. Hope they lose every game. I hope they freaking lose every game. I can't freaking stand the Eagles. And Howie Roseman, he's a freaking piece of crap. I can't stand that guy. Absolutely can't stand him. I can't, all the fan. I'm down here in South Jersey. I'm about 20 minutes from like Philadelphia. Like, I'm about 25, 30 minutes at the most from the Eagles stadium. And that's going across the bridge into Philly and driving down 95 and getting off. I'm really close to the Eagles Stadium, and it's nothing but Eagle fans around here. I freaking can't stand the Eagles and their fans. So I hope they lose every game this season. Not going to happen, but I can't. I freaking can't stand the Eagles. But let's see what we got. All right, so the Bears are on the clock. The Eagles pick is in. They haven't come to announce the. Oh, okay, here we go. The Bears get the 10th pick, and they get a 4th round pick from the Eagles next season. So the Eagles move back the Bears move back 1 pick. Okay, move back 1 pick, and they got a 4th round pick from the Eagles for next season, which is probably going to wind up like a late 4th round pick. You probably whatever pick 25. 20 on back. So it's a late 4th round pick just to move up 1 spot, just a flip flop. But 4th round pick is not bad. It's better than nothing. So especially if the Bears had no inkling at all about picking Jalen Carter. What we got? Philly gave up a 4th round pick next year. Yeah. Yeah. So it's for next year. Yeah. So now the Bears got pick number 10, which works out good for them if they had an inclination of picking Carter. The Bears needed some other stuff too. So, but they got the Eagles pick 4th round for next season. All right, Goodell's select Jalen Carter. Select Jalen Carter. There you go. So now he's playing next to Jordan Davis. So it's going to be Carter and Davis. It'll be like Brown and Reggie White. The way the Eagles had it back, those guys were unbelievable back then. Back like around 1989 and 90 and all. Wow. But the thing is that 4th round pick for the Eagles. I mean, you got to realize that's going to be like one of the last picks in the 4th round. But I guess that's better than nothing. That's just to move up one spot. So, but it's simply amazing. It's absolutely amazing how the guy, Howie Roseman, the Eagles GM, he has to wheeling and dealing. Always got to do this. I traded up 1, I moved back 3, I moved sideways 4 just to grab this guy. Traded him, but I can't stand that guy. Absolutely can't stand him. Anything about it, I despise him. Absolutely despise him. All right. What we got? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Darnell Wright, tackle from Tennessee. What? Oh, tackle. What? What? Oh, my God. Did you see that? The Bears took Darnell Wright, a tackle from Tennessee. Wow. What the hell grade did they have on him? Let me look at PFF here. Darnell Wright. Let me go to positions here. I'm going to type in tackles. Where do they have Darnell Wright at? Oh, my goodness. All right, well, they had him at the 22nd rated guy overall. Darnell Wright, tackle from Tennessee. So, but I mean, they got Broderick Jones and they got Skoronski still up there. Skoronski, according to PFF, that's all I'm going by. I have no board, nothing like that. No board. But they got Skoronski is the 5th ranked PFF, 5th ranked overall prospect in this draft. And he hasn't been taken yet. But so they traded back and they wound up taking Darnell Wright, the tackle from Tennessee, the Bears. They needed, I mean, if they believe in him, that's the way to go. I mean, Justin Fields can't do it all by himself, right? So he can't do it sitting on his ass, right? He needs some help. So let's see. Tackle, yeah. I mean, ESPN has the Bears needing a tackle. So they got. So they got themselves a tackle. All right. So now, okay. So now the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. All right, on ESPN on the TV, it says the Bears pick is in. So, so now I got Darnell Wright. Wow. Okay. Whoops. So, but I said, but all this stuff is starting to, which is good because you got to start realizing, right? You want Levis to come off the board, right? That's another guy. So those other, I mean, Gonzalez, these other cornerbacks are starting to move down a little bit, right? Hasn't been a wide receiver taken yet. They're moving back down the board, right? So you want like him going. You want Levis going, right? You want Skoronski going because we don't need a tackle, right? Maybe somebody else. What the other guy? Okay. I said you want Skoronski. Broderick Jones, the tackle from Georgia. You want him to go in front of the Giants, right? Whoops. Right? You want him going because now all these other guys start sliding down, right? We got Waller, so I would be shocked if we took like Mayer or somebody like, you know what I mean? But I mean, all these other guys starting to slide down, right? No wide receivers have been taken yet. Now you got to remember now the two things here, right? We got 10 picks. I'd be shocked if all 10 of these. I'd be shocked for two things. One, if we made all 10 picks. Okay, if we didn't trade a couple of them together and move up and grab somebody, I'd be shocked that we made all 10 picks. Okay, if we did, I'm really shocked if all 10 made the team. You know, because we got a lot of guys coming back from injury last year. We brought in a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Nunez, Archez, or Taco making the team, right? Richardson, right? Making the team, right? Waller, right? Or Karake. I mean, these guys, they're making the team. You know, Paris Campbell, right? You know, I mean, we brought Sterling Shepard back. Wandale Robinson come back from injury. You know, we got Slayton. We got, they're making the team, right? So, do we have 10 spots on this roster? Okay, to shocked. Titans are on the clock. Okay. The Bears pick. He's announcing the Bears pick. He's going to bar Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright. Boy, I'll tell you what, those Bears fans, they are not excited. They are not excited. Well, crazy. They are not thrilled over the moon, I can tell you that much. But the thing is, I'm saying is that, all these guys are starting to move down the board. Now the thing is, where, I just reading things and all that stuff and everything, listen to people that know a lot more about the Giants' daily operations than I do. There's a chance Shane might want to jump up and grab somebody. The thing is, okay, where do you draw that line at? You don't want to jump up to 12 or 30, I mean, that's possible if they're in love with like Gonzalez, right? He's still there, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Your first. It's going to cost you. Probably your second. It's going to cost you maybe a fourth. Do you want to? These first three rounds. For the Giants' sake, I really think that you really might want to utilize those three picks to get three guys that can be starters, or maybe if that third rounder can be a major contributor. Okay. You had your 2 third rounders. You got Waller. So you got him. All right. But it's just that we got so many other holes to fill. I mean, right now for the Giants to jump up and grab somebody and trade away a second-round pick, take their first and second to jump up 8 or 9 spots and grab Gonzalez or Njigba or somebody like that. I don't know. But I could say moving up maybe like 4 or 5 spots or something like that, where they would trade with maybe the Seahawks. I think they were at 20 or something like that. If they were, wanted to trade with the Giants. But I mean, giving away your first round pick and maybe a 5th or maybe the 4th. Oh, then you start getting stuff like that. You start flip-flopping back. I mean, the Giants trade away their 1st and their 4th and a 7th, but they get back a 6th round pick from the Seahawks. Stuff like that happens all the time. I mean, sometimes you get these trades and you're like, they traded away a 1st, a 2nd, and a 7th, and they got back a 6th and a 4th in 3 years from it. What? Stuff like that happens. These they're like money, right? So I'd be shocked if I mean, I hear a lot of things about maybe moving up, but moving up too far, I don't know. I mean, you might have to give up too much. Now let's see. I said we got. Oh, there you go. Okay, Skoronski. There you go. Good. That's excellent. Skoronski. Okay, off the board. Okay, so now another tackle gone. Now I said, I'm so freaking stupid. What is that freaking guy's name? I keep forgetting his name. Broderick Jones. I'm sorry, guys, for being such a freaking idiot. Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia. PFF has him as like the about the 20th rated overall. And that doesn't mean he's going to be number 20 taken. It doesn't mean he's going to be number 15. He could be number 30. Who knows? But I'm saying there's another decent tackle out there who can maybe go, okay, in front of the Giants, which would push those other guys down the board, right? So, I mean, if you start looking, right, you start looking at the cornerbacks. All right. Let's see. Okay. The Lions are on the clock. They need a wide receiver. Now, they could certainly take a wide receiver. Wouldn't be shocked about that. Okay. But we got the Lions, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 14 more picks before the Giants. Right? 14 more picks. All right, let's see here. All right, so we got 14 more picks. Wide receivers. All right, let's see. Whoop, let's go. Here we go. All right. Njigba, Addison, Johnston, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs. I mean, well, let's see. But so you got 4, right? You got 4 wide receivers. Okay. Possibly might be on the Giants roster. Radar, my bad. Weatherspoon is gone. Okay. But now you got Gonzalez, you got Banks, you got Joey Porter Jr., you got Emmanuel Forbes. I hear a lot of good things about him. So, so you got, okay, the Lions are on the clock. Okay. So, right, if you want to start looking at it like that, okay, they got 4 wide receivers. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm not sure how they're enamored the Giants are with the center. If John Michael Schmitz is there or Tipman there, are they enamored with them that much? Well, we're going to find out. But I'm saying is that we got 14 picks before the Giants. We got 4 good cornerbacks and we got 4 wide receivers. There's a good chance one of them is going to fall in a Giants striking zone. I mean, or as I said, if we get to pick number 20, 21, does Shane couple picks up like a 1st and a 4th and move up? Interesting to say, because when you're going from 10 to 9, that's when it costs you the 1st and a 4th. When you're 25 going to 21, that's when it can cost you a 1st and a 4th. So let's not forget that. The farther back you fall, right, the less it's going to cost you, okay? That's why I said, but the Eagles just a flip-flop, one spot. And guys, it's just the Howie Roseman thing. Yeah, I'm wheeling and dealing. I'm Howie Roseman. I'm so great. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I can't stand that guy. But they'll go from 10 to 9, it costs you a 4th round, a 1st and a 4th, right? Like I said, to go from 25 maybe to 21 might cost you a first and a fourth. So let's see. It'd be interesting to see if they, you know what I mean? Interesting to see. You know, the Shane strike. You know, because I mean, the more these positional players, not cornerbacks or okay, so here he is, Goodell coming. Tennessee's picks in. Waiting for Goodell. Here comes Goodell. Okay, he's gonna announce. Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, Skoronski. The Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh my God. Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow. Pick 12. Wow. Holy cow, Batman. Oh my God. I gotta let's see here. What the? Oh, come on. Hold on here. Okay, here we go. Positions. Oh my God. Where was, I mean, this is just PFF. That's all I'm going by. But I didn't see anybody having Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, much less number 12. So we got like 2 running backs in the top 12. Wow. Holy cow, Batman. Wow. There's always, you know, I mean, obviously there's always some shockers. There's always some twists. There's always some turns. Jahmyr Gibbs, pick 12. That's good, though. Now we got 13 picks to the Giants, right? Still got 4 wide receivers, still got 4 cornerbacks, right? I mean, if you're looking at like Gonzalez, you got Joey Porter Jr., you got Forbes, you got Banks, right? Then you got all the wide receivers so far, okay? All the wide receivers. Now we're pick 13. Now the Packers. I would be kind of shocked if they didn't take a wide receiver because. Who don't they have anymore? They don't have Jesus Christ as quarterback anymore, right? So they got a quarterback there who might be decent, but he's going to need some help. Okay, he's going to need some help. So I'll be shocked if they don't take Njigba. I like Njigba. I think he's possibly the best one. Wow. Yep. The Lions took a running back. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh man, they need defense. What are they taking a freaking running back for? What a bad pick. Not that he's bad, but man, they need defense. What the frick are they doing? They taking a second round running back and they got all these stupid. Well, that's the Lions for you. As I said, once again, not saying he's a bad running back. No, absolutely not. Very solid, good running back. There's running backs throughout the draft. I mean, you could get a good running back in the second or third round. Pick number 12. Holy cow. Oh my God. Yeah, they're even saying that. The announcers are like, wow. Second running back off the board in the top 12. Oh my goodness. Wow. And I said the Packers. I said I would be shocked if they got on PFF. Is all I'm going by, right? PFF has they need a quarterback. Now, do they take Levis? Right? Do they take Levis? Okay. They need a wide receiver, tight end, defensive line, edge, and a safety. So they're not going to possibly take a cornerback. Cool. That's awesome. Okay. So, but I mean, they need a quarterback. They got to be in love with Levis. I mean, if they're going to take him, they got to be in love with the guy. Okay. I would, stranger things happen. I mean, the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs, so anything's possible. It's trade night, right? Anything's possible. Oh my God. But that helps the Giants. The more picks we get, Man, right. I mean, I hope the Packers take a punter. Cool. Oh, man, I love that stuff. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I said he's a really good running back, but wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, there's always head scratchers. It doesn't matter. The Lions are like high-fiving each other, they're like hugging each other, they're like kissing each other and all that stuff. They're bear hugging, and they're like they just drafted, I don't know, Barry Sanders all over again or something. Oh my God. Okay, the Packers got 4 minutes left to go. All right. If they're not in love with Levis, I can see them going wide receiver. You got some good wide receivers. Okay. Good wide receivers, still. No Jamar Chases. Okay. But I said, and Jigba, without question. Quentin Johnson, you can't go wrong with either one of those. They also need a tight end. I don't know, Mayer, right? Mayer, is that a little too rich for pick number 13 to take Mayer? Well, he's the best overall. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the fastest. Maybe not the best of hands or whatever. But with the Packers. But best overall. Okay, tight end. Do they take a tight end? Right. If they're rolling with, if they're going to roll with Love, they better get the guy some help. Okay, they better. So that could mean Mayer. Right. Get yourself, when you drop him back to pass, sometimes your best friend is maybe a running back out of the backfield or a tight end right over there. Right. So I'm saying, but Mayer's a good blocker. Good overall. May not be a bad pick. It might be a safer pick than maybe in Jigba or Quentin Johnston. Might be a safer pick than that. So did they pop up? Here we go. No, they took Finesse. Oh, baby. Okay, well, that's good for them. The edge rusher, okay, from Iowa, Lucas Finesse. The Packers took Lucas Finesse, and now we still got 4 wide receivers, and we still got 3, however you want to look at it, 3 or 4 cornerbacks. Okay, so what do we got here? All right, what do we got? Pick 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 12 picks left. All right, so we still got 12 picks left for the Giants, okay? So, right, so we got now the Patriots on the clock. The Patriots, according to PFF, is all I'm going by. I don't have notes. I don't have this. I'm just going by their expertise. Right. That says the Patriots need a quarterback because I think Mac Daddy Jones is falling out a little favor with Mr. Belichick up there. I was never totally thrilled on Mac Daddy Jones anyway. You know what I mean? But it says they need a quarterback. Did they fall in love with Levis? Belichick also likes to trade out and get more draft picks. So we'll have to wait and see. He says they could use a tackle and an edge rusher. Okay. So there's a tackle there. There's an edge rusher there as well, too. Okay. And I said, I'm not sure if they fall in love with Levis or not. All right. But Lucas Vaness, the Packers, pick number 13. Still got 4 cornerbacks there. All haven't had a wide receiver off the board yet. Really, really good. So we're gonna have somewhere along the line. It says the Packers pick is in. I'm on ESPN here. So the Packers got the Packers they got the this is the pick that they got from the Jets. They gave the Jets the 15th pick, and the Packers got the Jets 13th pick. So they took Lucas Vaness, pick 13. This is the Jets pick that they got from Aaron Rodgers. Now, in 2 picks will be the Jets. That's the pick that they somehow They gave Aaron Rodgers and they wanted to flip flop the first round picks. Okay, here comes Roger Goodell, Lucas Van Ness, edge, Iowa. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Well, so so apparently he's up from around that area. So for him to go to the Packers, I mean, that's so that, I mean, that's a good pick for them. That's a good, that's a good pick for them. Can't complain with that. 6'5", 272 edge. Oh, and they even got him inside too. So they show him, right? No, they got him inside. They're showing highlights of Vanessa, and they got him inside. Oh, then they got him standing up on the outside. So it looks, if they got him at 270, I'll tell you what, they're going to line him up in Iowa. He was inside quite a bit, but it might be a bit light in the NFL, because if you got a guard who's like 320 pounds, locks his hands on him, 50 pounds heavier, it's over. So he might have to slip to the outside. But I mean, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick. All right, so now we got, as I said, now the Pittsburgh traded up. Oh my God, here we go. You got that, guys? Pittsburgh traded up. Okay. Pittsburgh traded up with, as I said, Belichick likes to just collect more draft picks. So he traded out of that pick. I guess he's still in the first round, but he collected more picks. Okay. Patriots traded the picks to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. So now the Steelers are on the clock. The Steelers need a cornerback. So don't be surprised if they don't take, and a safety. Don't be surprised if they don't take Gonzalez or say Branch. So, or can't. Yeah. So don't, let me see here also. Let me see here. I gotta get out of here. Let's see. So you're thinking possibly the guy from Pittsburgh, Cansey? Maybe Cansey or Nolan Smith? Well, Broderick, they're talking about maybe jumping up. They were talking about maybe jumping up for Broderick Jones, too. That's what Mel Kiper Jr. was saying, because they jumped in front of the Jets. Okay, that's why they jumped up. They wanted to jump in front of the Jets. The Steelers wanted to jump in front of the Jets. So quite possibly they're taking Broderick Jones, the tackle, possibly what Mel Kiper Jr. was saying. Okay. Broderick Jones. So quite possibly. Oh, I'm out of here. So a lot of them kind of seem to think that Broderick Jones, the tackle, okay, from Georgia, might be going to the Steelers, which once again would be phenomenal for the Giants, because now all the wide receivers slip down another spot. All those cornerbacks, except for Witherspoon, slip down another spot. Somewhere along the line is going to start being a run on cornerbacks and wide receivers. So hopefully the Giants, if they have an inkling or thinking about, all right, the Steelers get the fourth. The Steelers went from 17 to 14. Okay, here you go. The Steelers, to move up 3 picks, gave up a 4th round pick. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So they went from 17 to 14. All right, to go up 16, move up 3 spots. and they gave up a 4th round, but that's from 17 to 14. So the Giants could go from maybe 25 to 20, 25 to 21, okay, and give up a 1st round and a 4th. Okay, so that's something to think about there. Is if Shane's going to maybe pull the trigger on a trade and jump up, because you're starting to look now. There's is guaranteed now, and like number 20, there's going to be a wide receiver there, and there's going to be a cornerback there, guaranteed. Now the thing is, did the Giants fall in love with any of those guys? It'd be interesting to say. I'll say they took Broderick Jones. The Steelers took Broderick Jones. They took the tackle. Okay, so now there's 11 picks. The Jets are on the clock. Okay, they took Broderick Jones. So all those tackles are all gone. Okay, so the top four tackles are all gone. Okay. Let's see here. So all the tackles are gone. Okay. Here goes Roger Goodell. The Steeler fans don't sound too excited. It's one of those things. It's kind of like, when you trade up in the draft, you trade up a few spots, you kind of, oh man, we're going to, and then they take an offensive lineman. It's not very sexy. It's a need. Okay. But they were talking about trying to protect, their quarterback, and so that's why all those experts, Mal Kiper and all those guys, think that they were going to want to take in possibly Broderick Jones. So they wound up taking Broderick Jones. So now we're down to 11 picks. Okay. Jets are on the clock. What do they got? Jets got 7 minutes left to go. The Jets are on the clock. Now, the reason why the Steelers jumped up in front of the Jets was because, according to PFF, right, said the Jets need a linebacker and a tackle. Okay. They could certainly take a wide receiver. They don't need defense, really. Aaron Rodgers, if you're going to give that dude like Njigba or somebody like that, or Quentin Johnston, somebody can take the top off the defense, tall, I could see the Jets maybe taking a wide receiver, maybe to appease Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. So, but according to PFF, they said they needed a tackle. Okay. A tackle and a linebacker. Now there's no linebacker. As far as I know, that, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. Okay. If they took a linebacker at number 15. I don't know of any linebacker. I guess inside linebacker, middle linebacker. That's pick 15, but it's the draft. Anything goes. I said, I don't know if they need a cornerback. Gonzalez is still freaking there, guys. He's still there. Right? We need a cornerback, right? We have Adoree Jackson. Okay. We got Adoree Jackson. Who's on the other side? Right? Aaron Robinson, Rodarius Williams. Darnay, some of these guys in the slot like Flott and Darnay Holmes. We got Johnson, I think it is, from Duke, the guy who got injured last year, and we signed him to a 3-year deal, right? Undrafted free agent, right? Because he was injured. He got injured last year, so we signed him, but we don't know what we got with him. He can wind up being really, really good, but we don't know what we got with him. All right. We don't have a cornerback who's a ball hawk. Adoree Jackson's a decent cornerback, but he ain't going to get you no interceptions. It doesn't seem like they have any inklings whatsoever on re-signing him. Okay. It says we get Zion Gilbert. Who do we have? To put an opposite. We did decent last year with what we had. Okay. But the thing is, that's what like Adoree Jackson there, right? We also had Fabian, right? But we didn't re-sign him. He did a decent job, but we didn't bring him back. I don't know why. It wouldn't have cost us a lot of money, but for whatever reason, we didn't bring. He's still out there, I think. So that certainly doesn't mean we couldn't bring him back. Okay, without question, he's not going to cost a lot. But once again, who do we have, especially after this year? Because all I'm keep hearing is that the Giants don't seem to be interested in bringing back Adoree Jackson after this season. Now, as I said, his cap hit is high. Okay. If we draft a cornerback in the first round, we'll have him for 5. We have rights, and then you can franchise tag him if you want. Obviously, yeah, but you have control over it for 5 years. But I mean, I don't know what the cap hit would be, but it would be like $4 million, 5. I mean, if we would jump up to like 20 or somewhere around there, okay, it wouldn't cost you that much. But I said Adoree Jackson is expensive. If we were to resign him, he'd be expensive, right? I mean, maybe not as expensive as what his contract is right now. Okay, maybe we get a little bit cheaper. Who knows? But as far as I know, they don't have any intentions upon extending his contract at all. And also, it's kind of like they don't seem like they even want to work with his contract at all to maybe get his cap hit down, right? Because his cap hit is like $19 million this year. It's like they don't want to maybe, rework the contract, right? To maybe get that cap hit down to get some dead money, push some dead money down the road, kicking the can down the road, right? Shane doesn't seem like he wants to do that. So I don't know if they have any inkling at all. Jets got 2 minutes left to go on the clock. 2 minutes. I'm still looking at PFF. I haven't seen a pick jump up yet. The Jets, right? Oh, there you go. Somebody was saying maybe Cansey. They might take Cansey. So we'll have to wait and see. So the Jets pick should be coming in any time, especially if PFF is ahead of the curve here. So Nolan Smith. Yeah, Nolan Smith. I mean, they have a very good defense. So I mean, if they're going to add to their defense, that'd be phenomenal. That'd really, really, really be good. So see the Jets up, still nothing. They got a little bit over a minute left to go. Still waiting for PFF to update. Oh, the Jets, apparently they put their pick in. Okay, they put their pick in. I'm waiting for this to update here. It says the Jets on the clock. PFF. So the Jets are all hugging in their war room there. They're all high-fiving and chest bumping and fist bumping and all that stuff and everything. So they turned their envelope in. I just don't know. It says the Jets are on the clock. I haven't seen anything yet. Don't know. Don't know who they're. Jets made the pick. Okay, the pick is in. I haven't seen anything. Wow. So I don't know. So I guess this is weird because this will be maybe the first time I'm going to hear on TV, hear the pick before I see it on PFF. Weird. Let me see. Let me see if I can refresh this here. Maybe anything. Oh, okay. So let's see here. Let me see. Where are we at? 15. Nope. Still says Jets on the clock. Weird. I got two computers here. I got PFF in front of me, and I got ESPN over here. And they both still say the Jets are on the clock. So they haven't. Let's see. But I mean, a lot of these guys on ESPN and all, they're talking about maybe Cansey, right? That wouldn't be a bad pick for them. I mean, that would help out their defense a heck of a lot. So I mean, the Jets don't need a lot. But one of the things they did say that the Jets needed a tackle, and that's why Pittsburgh jumped in front of them because they were afraid that they were going to take the guy from Georgia, I guess. Because, I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, but if Aaron Rodgers is running for his life or Aaron Rodgers is on his back a lot, it's only doing you so well, right? So that's why Pittsburgh jumped in front of the Jets. So still waiting. Well, I'm waiting for the commission to come, I guess. I mean, weird. I haven't, let's see here. Jets. I even have the app open on my phone. It still says the Jets are on the clock. So they got, I guess they got a kid here from Make-A-Wish, I guess it is. So I have no idea. It's weird. So said the pick is in. They're not announcing it. I don't know. But so interesting to see who the Jets wind up picking. But I said, but if it's not a wide receiver or cornerback, that pushes them more of them down. That's good for the Giants. The New York Jets. All right. Here we go. The Jets pick.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. I'd also like to thank the NFL, the New York Jets, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern New York for giving me this opportunity tonight.
Yeah, the kid's like a rock star up there. Oh, they took Will McDonald. Will McDonald. There you go. The Jets. Will McDonald. T-S. Jets. Whoa. Whoa. There you go. Okay. Emmanuel Forbes. There you go. All right. Did you get that, guys? I have no idea why it took 3.5 hours for a PFF to update for them to to update Will McDonald, but Forbes off the board. The Commanders got Forbes. Okay, so it's the second cornerback is off the board. The Patriots now on the clock. Okay, right. I don't know why it took 3.5 hours for them to for them to update. No idea. But Forbes, okay, he's off the board. Washington Commanders at pick 16, Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback. So that was a good that was a good one for them. Because on ESPN says they need a quarterback, a cornerback, a guard, a tackle, and a tight end. So they took themselves a really good cornerback. Okay, but now, once again, okay, so now we're pick 17. Now, Patriots, they love trading around. They're even crazy nights. They're even crazier than Howie Roseman from the Eagles. I'm a wheeler and a dealer, baby. Freaking hate that guy. But they're a wheeler and dealer. Did Shane pick the phone up and, hey, how you doing there, Mr. Belichick? How you doing? Huh? Right? But I mean, all wide receivers are on the board, guys. Pick 17, right? So now let me see. Hold on a second here. Pick is in. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to see the Patriots on. Tackle, cornerback. See, that says corner ESPN. That's all I'm going by. They say they need a cornerback and a wide receiver. But they also like to trade too. Trade around the crazy Bill Belichick. He likes collecting draft picks. So he's more than happy, I'm sure, to trade out of that pick, move back, grab another couple picks or a pick or two or whatever. So, but the Patriots need a wide receiver and a cornerback. Okay. They also need a quarterback because, I mean, they're falling out of favor, I think, with Mac Daddy Jones. So, do they fall in love with Will Levis? See, actually, I guess Levis was another one of those guys. Where is he? I mean, Richardson, Robinson, right? Carter. Now Levis, where's he going? Is he falling out of the first round altogether? Interesting to see. Right? But I mean, if the Patriots, want a quarterback, if for some reason they fell in love with Levis, maybe he goes off the board. But but I said the nice thing is now, right? All of the wide receivers are still on the board. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 9, including the Patriots pick. Okay, including the Patriots pick. Who's picking right now? We got 9 picks until the Giants. So I think, I'm just trying to think. I think the Giants, if they're trying to hold on to their top 3 picks, which I would like, okay, because you kind of hoping the first and second round, they got to be starters. I mean, if you're taking a second rounder and he's not a starter, man, bad pick. Yeah. And I think if you're drafting what the Giants needs, if you're drafting somebody in the third round and he's just quality depth or something, bad pick, right? So I would like to see them hold on to their top 3 picks. 4th, 5th, the 4th, the 2 5ths, the 6th, and the 3 7ths, up for grabs. Okay. Now, if he could couple up the 1st and a 4th, how far can he move up? I'm thinking maybe 21, maybe 20. So maybe he can move, up to, right? Let's see. The Patriots still on the clock. Commanders pick is in. I mean, the Patriots have been on the clock for a little while. So, their time is dwindling down. But, I mean, I think the Giants in another couple of picks could jump up. With the 1st and the 4th, right? So, but you're almost starting to kind of get to the point where you're almost guaranteed one of those cornerbacks and one of those wide receivers are going to be there. Now, as I said, are they going to go that way or do they go center? Interesting to say. Now, as I said, let me see here. Patriots still on the clock. Let me go. All right, let me see. Cornerback. Where are we at here? Cornerback. Okay, PFF. Okay, they got Witherspoon. They got Gonzalez, Banks, and Porter. Forbes is off the board. Okay, so there's Porter, Banks, and Gonzalez. Okay, so here's Goodell to tell us about the Redskins, Commanders pick. Forbes, gone. But there's still at least 3 good cornerbacks there, and all the wide receivers are there. Okay. So, Christian, freaking Patriots took Gonzalez. Gonzalez is gone. I mean, a lot of people's eyes, Gonzalez is first, maybe second best cornerback. Patriots got Gonzalez. Gone. So now there's, now we're down to 2, Porter and Banks, right? Maybe, right? Still left. But they're still on the board. And all the wide receivers are still on the board. So we got, let's see here. All right. Now the Lions are on the clock. Lions need a wide receiver, a tight end, and a defensive lineman. So, I mean, they could, Mayer. I mean, because they just trade away Hawkinson. I'm still not sure why, but they trade it. They need a tight end. Might they take Mayer? Right? But they can use a wide receiver, but they could take Mayer. Right? I mean, things are, they took a freaking running back. So, and number 12, who wasn't Robinson. So anything's possible. Anything is possible with the Detroit Lions. Okay. I mean, I said, let's see what we got. I mean, let's see who's still there. I mean, Levis is there. I don't know if they're going to be taking the quarterback, but and Jigba's there, Kincaid's there, Gonzalez gone. Let's see, Cansey's there, Brian Branch is still there, Mayer's there, right? Porter's there, Addison's there. So what we got? Yeah, Gonzalez, Patriots, Gonzalez, gone. Good pick. So not only did, the Patriots, this is one of the beautiful things about trading back, right? Right. They picked up an extra, I think, 4th round pick, and they got themselves a phenomenal cornerback, and they got him for under control for 5 years. And obviously you can franchise tag him until the cows come home if you want, but you got to give it to Belichick, and he did a good job there. Got an extra draft pick, and he got himself a really good cornerback. So now we're down to like a couple cornerbacks left. Okay, so a couple cornerbacks are left. It says, according to PFF, it says the Lions said they need a defensive lineman, a tight end, a wide receiver. And it's not, as I said, let's not forget, all of the wide receivers are still on the board. Not one has come off yet. Now, as I said, we're starting to kind of get into the striking zone, right? Where Shane can jump up 4 or 5 spots, not give up maybe a second or third round pick, and grab somebody. Okay. So let's see if Shane is up to his word. He said, he's up to anything, staying put, trading up, or trading back, or maybe even trading out of the first round. So it would kind of be a little bit of a bummer if you're here for 3-4 hours first round, and all of a sudden, you get 3 hours in. Well, we're over 2 hours, so you get almost 3 hours into it, and you find out your team just traded out of the first round. But said the thing is, if we traded out of the first round, you're going to collect some picks. If you collect them for this year, you might be doing yourself maybe a disservice, because it'd be a hard time to have all those picks make the team. So, but let's see. So the Lions are still on the clock. Lions got about 5.5 minutes left to go. Okay. Now ESPN. Will Levis is still waiting. Will Levis is waiting. So, I heard, I don't know. I was just hearing some not really phenomenal things about Levis. Seems like some teams seem to be a little more down on him. Seemed like, as I said, he was kind of like bulked up and kind of like, getting muscle is good, but too much sometimes makes your muscle bound and all and everything. And sometimes maybe for a quarterback, if you need to sling that baby, you need like rubber bands for arms to sling that baby. It's nice, I said, to have biceps and all that and everything, but sometimes, putting on too much muscle is not a good thing. So it's kind of hard. I wouldn't be surprised if Levis winds up sliding down the board quite a bit. But according to ESPN, well, it's weird because Pro Football Focus says the Lions need a wide receiver. ESPN says they don't need a wide receiver. ESPN says they need a defensive tackle, defensive edge, inside linebacker, a tight end, and a running back. Well, they got themselves a running back. So pick number 12. Oh my God. But, if they wanted to, as I said, Mayer, right? I mean, best overall. Tight end. Interesting to say. But I mean, I said the Lions taking a running back at number 12 overall. Anything's possible. Maybe they'll take a punter. Who knows, right? But let me see here. They're still on the clock. Yeah, the Lions are still on the clock. They got about 3.5 minutes left to go on the clock. So then after that comes the Bucks. Now, according to PFF, the Bucks need 1, 2, 3. Wow, the Bucks need a lot. According to PFF, the Bucks need a quarterback. Maybe they fall in love with Levis, another different positional pick, right? That helps push those other guys down toward the Giants, which would be great. But they need a tight end, which the Giants don't need. They need a tackle, according to PFF. A guard, a center, defensive lineman, and a safety. Now, up. They took Jack Campbell. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wow. They took it. They took maybe the best inside linebacker, maybe. But, man, I mean, my God, they're taking guys. I mean, wow. I mean, a lot of people had him like a second-round grade. The running back at a second round grade of taking these guys. I mean, my God. I mean, not that Campbell's a horrible player, but wow. I mean, so Jack Campbell, the linebacker from Iowa, off the board, which is good for the Giants. Once again, pushes the wide receivers / maybe the final two cornerback Banks and Joey Porter Jr. down toward the Giants, okay? So now the Bucks are on the board. Bucks, I said, a quarterback. If they took Levis, that would be great for the Giants. They need a tight end. If they took Mayer or Kincaid or one of the other tight ends, that would be great for the Giants. Apparently, the Bucks need everybody on the offensive line. According to PFF, says the Bucks need a tackle, a guard, a center. Defensive line. So I mean, they took Cansey, right? That may not be a bad pick for them as well, too. Then again, if Cansey fell to the Giants, that may not be a bad pick. You can never have too many. You can never beef up that defensive line too much. Okay, you can never have too many edge rushers. And they also need a safety. So if they were to take Branch, that may not be bad. Okay, I mean, if the Giants were to take Branch, I wouldn't be upset with that either. Now, according to PFF, okay, right. There's only two teams in front of the Giants who need a safety. Okay, that would be the Bucks, who are picking now at number 19. Okay, and the Jaguars, who are picking right in front of the Giants at 24. So if the Giants were in love with like Branch, they might want to jump up a couple spots and grab Branch. Okay, so yeah, if they were in love with Branch, see, Branch would fill quite a few needs. You can put him in the box. He could be a safety. Okay, you can. I heard he played in the slot. I heard he even played outside. In a positionless defense, Brian Branch could be a home run for the New York Giants. Now, is he a lockdown cornerback? Is he going to take Adoree Jackson's place on the out? Nope. Is he possibly be your number 2 cornerback? Nope. I mean, he's a safety. Okay, but in a positionless defense, he could be. He could really do good for the New York Giants if they were kind of falling in love with Branch. Okay. So I mean, the Bucks are on the clock. The pick is in. Let's see what the Bucks here. Okay. All right. Well, here comes Roger Goodell to announce Jack Campbell. Probably a second round grade. I'm dying to hear what the announcers say. Did they moan? Oh, after he says Campbell. Oh, wow. The Butkus Award winner is the nation's best linebacker, Jack Campbell. But I mean, a lot of people had him second round grades. So, all right. Once again, I said, that's the Lions. Basically, in the first round, they took 2 picks in the first round with basically guys who had second round grades on them. So, I mean, 6'4" and a half, 250 pounds. I mean, he's got the size. He's 250 pounds. I mean, he's a he's a good solid linebacker. But is he going to be? I mean, we got a first round grade once again? I mean, that's the Lions for you. I mean, it is what it is. But you thank the Lions, right? Because the Giants weren't taking Campbell with pick number 25. I highly doubt they were taking Campbell at number 25. We got a Carrick. We don't. If we were to get Campbell maybe in the second round or the third round, something like that might be good. But I don't think we were taking him in the first round. So that's good. Pushes those wide receivers. Not one wide receiver is off the board yet. Okay. But pushes Branch down, pushes the other cornerbacks down, pushes all 4 wide receivers down. Very, very good. Okay. The Bucs are still on the clock. Their pick is in. Oh, I wonder if they have somebody. The pick is in. It hasn't loaded yet. Okay. Hasn't loaded yet. So this could be another one of those Make-A-Wish Foundation things where for some reason the Make-A-Wish, I have no idea why. Maybe the Make-A-Wish, they I don't know. It takes them 3.5 years to update the I don't know on the internet here. But it says on the TV, it says the Bucs pick is in. And almost every other pick, before it says the pick is in, on my computer, I go to PFF and the pick is there. Oh, they took Cansey. Okay, the Bucs took Cansey. Good. I mean, that's good for them. Good, solid, good. Very good pick. Really, really good pick. Okay, but once again, that helps the Giants push Branch, the 2 cornerbacks, right, and all the wide receivers down toward the Giants, right? So now what we got? Seahawks are on the clock. Now the Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including this pick, the Giants, there's 6 picks. So the Giants are guaranteed. Okay. I mean, I said, I know they can be taking, the center in the first round. They could be taking a center, right? But what that did, it guarantees one of those 4 wide receivers, if they're going to go wide receiver, I'm just saying, one of those 2, right? Banks, Porter Jr., Njigba, Johnston, Addison, Flowers, and Branch. One of those guys is going to be there guaranteed for the New York Giants, pick number 25. Now, the thing is, Shane, as he fell in love with one, I mean, it's like, yo, if we get frickin' Njigba, we're there, right? Does he want to make the, here goes Goodell to announce Cansey. That's a good pick. I think that's a good pick for them. Unanimous All-American, right? So they said, he has a lot of traits of Aaron Donald. He's not Aaron Donald, but very, very good, solid, strong. You know what I mean? Very, very quick, right? So now the Seahawks are on the clock. Yeah, Cansey's. Yeah, he's quick. He's got inside. He's got moves, boy. I'll tell you, he's a special player. So I mean, without question, they did themselves good taking Cansey in that pick. Really good pick, Alijah Cansey. So, well, as I said, once again, the whole slide now. Now the Giants are guaranteed between. I mean, even if they wanted to go center, now they're really guaranteed. But not one wide receiver is off the board. Now, let's see here. The Seahawks, they don't need a wide receiver. That doesn't mean also got to start thinking about this. Somebody doesn't jump up and trade with the Seahawks to grab. If somebody falls in love with Johnston or in Jigba or for whatever, Addison or Flowers, somebody might jump up. But all 4 wide receivers are still there. As I said, there ain't no Jamar Chase there. Okay. There's nobody, Hall of Fame. I'm not saying they can't make a Hall of Famer, but I mean, there's no rock solid stud there. Okay. Okay, they have about 5.5 minutes left to go to Seahawks until their pick is over. Okay. 5.5 minutes to go until the Seahawks are on the board. Have to make their pick, right? So hopefully we'll find out here. It says they're still on the clock, but they according to PFF, they need a guard, a center, defensive line help, and an edge. Okay. Center defensive. But on ESPN, it says that the Seahawks need a wide receiver. Now I'm not, they got Metcalf and Lockett, so I'm not exactly sure. Why they need. I mean, I think they have other pressing needs, but I'd be anxious to see, who they want to take in. But I mean, as I said, the Giants, if they fell in love with somebody, they're pretty much in striking range. They could probably trade up with the Seahawks. Okay. Give them a first, a fourth, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a sixth or something like that. The other thing you can also look at too is that, we got Branch, we got 2 cornerbacks, and we got 4 wide receivers and a center. If the Giants fell in love with like 5 or 6 of those guys, just saying, okay, I obviously I don't know, but I'm just saying if they did, okay, one of them's going to be there. Shane could literally just sit there and just say, yeah, okay, we'll let one of these guys fall to us, right? But it's also lets you kind of know where he's thinking too. I mean, because if he does jump up 3, 4, 5 spots or so and snag somebody, he fell in love with somebody. It's just a shame that Gonzalez went because he was falling, and as I said, because the Giants really could use a cornerback, so much more than they could use a wide receiver. I said because I said if you look, I mean, do we have a number one? No, right? I'm saying, but I mean, Paris Campbell's fast, right? I mean, Crowder, okay, Colin Johnson, we got Slayton, right? We got Wandale coming back, we got Sterling Shepard, we got Colin Johnson. I mean, I said then we got Waller, right? Bellinger, right? I mean, so we have. Okay, the Seahawks have about 2.5 minutes left to go. We have options. We got some wide receivers. Do we have like an A.J. Brown or Tyreek Hill or something? No, absolutely not. Somewhere along the line, would it be nice to grab somebody like that? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love to see that. Yeah. But, I mean, as of right now, we got, especially, as I said, with the Kansas City Chiefs, they got Kelsey. So your number 1 overall dude does not have to be a wide receiver. Okay. Waller is a mismatch. Okay. Maybe he's not as super duper special as Kelsey, but Waller's pretty good, right? I mean, he's tall. He's a mismatch. Let's see. So, okay, Seahawks got under 2 minutes left to go. Says they're still on the clock. So we'll have to wait and see. Seahawks. And that's the thing is that with what's going on with like Geno Smith, right? Is he in the long-term future for them? They're gonna did they fall? Somebody fall in love with Will Levis? So we'll have to wait and see. I'd be shocked because I mean, if somebody falls in love with Will Levis, right, and he's there at 20, and you think he's your guy or whatever, you think he can, you can work with him and he can be your guy. Maybe not this year or whatever, but jump up there and grab the guy. So, I mean, but I mean, without question, I mean, the Seahawks, I mean, well, Geno, I mean, had a very good season last year, but, he's been around for a while. So I don't know if he's the long-term answer, but we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, the Seahawks, they got some issues, but I mean, I don't know if wide receiver is one of them. So we'll have to wait. But I said if it was Will Levis, that would be fantastic because once again, that pushes everybody back down the board toward the Giants. Man. All right, so I'm still waiting. It says, the pick is in. Okay. I'm still waiting. The pick is in. I haven't seen it. Seahawks pick is in. Oh, no, can't. No. I was looking. I saw Cansey. I'm like, oh, they took Cansey. No, that was the pick before. So I'm still waiting for this to update. Okay, they took. Fuck. Damn, they took in Jigba. Jeez, God. They took in Jigba. Jigba's off the board. Unbelievable. Damn. I mean, I don't know. How many wide receivers they need? I guess maybe Lockett's getting a little old. But, I mean, man, they just helped Geno out a whole hell of a lot. So, once again, Levis is still there on the board. But, Jigba off the board. So, all right. But, I mean, so now we got the Chargers are on the board. It says here, it says here, according to PFF, they can use a wide receiver too. So, this might be where the run on wide receiver starts going. Oh my God, we got to take Johnston. Oh my God, so if they want to help Herbert out, maybe they take Addison or Johnston. But we'll have to see. But the Chargers are on the clock. It started, they have about 8 or 9 minutes left to go. According to PFF, says the Chargers need a wide receiver, a cornerback, and a linebacker. So we'll have to wait and see. As I said, Banks and Porter are still there. The 2 good cornerbacks are still there. 3 wide receivers are still there. Okay, we got Addison, we got Flowers, we got Johnston. We got Banks. We got Porter. Brian Branch is still there. The safety, the guy who's multiple positions he can play. So Goodell is coming here, and he's got a bunch of young people up there who are, I guess, going to help announce the Seahawks pick and picking in Jigba. But I'm saying, see, right now, okay, now if Shane is falling in love with anybody, now's the time. He can couple up a first and a fourth and move up. Maybe the first, and I don't know. I don't know if a fifth will get you to go from 25 to 21. That I'm not sure. Here we go. Somebody's announcing in Jigba. Jigba gone. First wide receiver off the board, guys. Okay, so the Chargers are on the clock. It says their needs. Okay, wide receiver. It says the Chargers needs on both PFF and on ESPN has them both with wide receiver and cornerback. They both have. So they need running back, a defensive line help, and they need outside linebacker. Okay, but they need a cornerback, and they need wide receiver help. So don't be surprised if the Chargers, okay, don't grab a wide receiver or cornerback. I said, there's Banks. I heard a lot of good things about Banks. I heard a lot of people say if the Giants were wind up with Banks, wouldn't be bad. Of course, I don't know if you can go wrong with Joey Porter Jr. either. So, but they were down to 2 cornerbacks left. But the nice thing is it's a good cornerback class. So you can get contributors, in the third round, fourth round. Okay. Now, are they going to be elite starters if you grab somebody in the third round? Quite possibly not. But good cornerbacks. It's a good class. Good class for wide receivers too. So I mean, for whatever reason, the Chargers have a little over 5 minutes left on the clock. Okay, a little over 5 minutes. But for whatever reason, I'm just saying that if we don't grab a cornerback or a wide receiver in the first round, it's not the end of the world. You can get decent players, in day 2 and in day 3. Okay. Obviously, you don't want to try to grab a decent cornerback in round 6. Okay. But if you were to grab one in round 3 or round 4, you'll get a contributor. You'll get somebody decent. Okay. But we're down to 2. I'd say I've also heard. Okay, position. I've also heard very good things. The guy from K-State as well, too. Whoops. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Cam Smith. Okay. Heard some really good things about him. Cam Smith. All right. So, and I've heard decent things about Prince, too. But a lot of these guys, I'm not exactly sure. If they have Chargers down to 4 minutes. But I'm not exactly sure if a lot of these guys, some of these guys are decent cornerbacks, but wouldn't be bad to take in the second round, right? I mean, if for some reason, if the Giants fell in love with a center, okay, and they took a center in the first round, I said we can get good cornerbacks in the second round or third round, good wide receivers in the second round and third round. I was just saying my thing is with, because we're going to need somebody to quite possibly take Adoree Jackson's spot after this season. Now, that doesn't mean the Giants have hopefully some cap space. Next year, they can always maybe go into free agency, and there's somebody out there, maybe try to bring them in. You can maybe try to go after a cornerback in the draft next season. If we don't grab one in the first round or first or second round, right? It's not the end of the world. Same thing with wide receiver. You can maybe in free agency, maybe next year. I'm not sure who's available next year, but maybe want free agency next year and grab a wide receiver number 1. You can maybe try to, it's tough to draft the number 1 wide receiver, straight up stud, if you're not drafting in the top 10. Okay. But, that certainly doesn't mean stud wide receivers have to be taken in the top 10. I mean, you can find obviously first, second, third round, but you gotta be able to, know what you're looking at. Okay. Chargers pick is in, so this should update any second now, hopefully. Chargers pick is in. Damn. Yep, so here we go. Here goes the run on the wide receiver, Johnston. Gone. In Jigba, Johnston, right? So, all right. So, the run on wide receivers. Check it out. All right. So now we're down. All right. So we got the Ravens, we got the Vikings, Jaguars, and the Giants. Right. 4 guys, 4 teams. Right. So, but like I said, there's Zay Flowers, there's Addison, there's Branch, right? There's Banks, and there's Joey Porter Jr. There's Mayer. I don't know. That would be a bit much, I think, if we're going to take a tight end. But I'm saying a center, maybe. I don't know. Interesting to see, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of making you. Maybe they didn't fall in love with any of these guys if they're not jumping up and trying to grab anybody. But Quentin Johnston, wide receiver, off the board. Chargers. Well, I mean, that's going to work wonders for Herbert. I mean, that could be a match made in heaven right there. Herbert and Johnston, right? Especially if he's somebody big, tall, to take the top off the defense. That's a good pick for the Chargers. Really, really good pick. But so now the the Ravens are on the clock. Now, they need wide receiver and cornerback. Let me see. Goodell says Quentin Johnston. Wide receiver, yeah. So, according to both PFF and ESPN, the Ravens could use a cornerback, wide receiver. So let's see. Let's see how they go at it. All right. Is the run on wide receivers going to keep going? Or, right, do they take one of those other cornerbacks? I mean, they draft well too. I mean, the Ravens always seem to draft well. Okay, the Ravens have about 6.5 minutes left on the clock. So after the Ravens, got the Giants are the third one after the Ravens, right? So we got 4 more picks to go. Giants, baby. But I mean, the Ravens draft well too. So I mean, if they were to take somebody like a Branch, I wouldn't be shocked about that at all either. Somebody you can move around the defense, as I said, for Wink Martindale, somebody you can use at safety. You can put up in the box. I've heard even you put him in the slot. Now, as I said, you got to remember too. He's putting in the slot. You're going up against slot receivers when you're going up against Kentucky, or some of these. I mean, not every school they go is totally horrible, but you can move him around the defense. He played cornerback. He played slot corner, you know what I mean? But it's against some of the weaker opponents. Now, how that might translate into the NFL with Branch, who knows? But as I said, the Ravens draft very well. So if they were to take Branch, I wouldn't be shocked about that either. But the Ravens are still on the clock. They have about 5 minutes to go. But as I said, they need both cornerback and wide receiver. So, but as I said, guaranteed, Flowers, Addison, Branch, Banks, Porter Jr. One of those 5 guys is going to be there. Now, I said it'll also be funny too. I mean, if I'm standing there for the past like 3 hours rattling off the wide receivers and cornerbacks and Branch and all, if he winds up taking like Michael Schmitz or Tippmann or something, the center, but I'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if the Giants, for whatever reason, were just stone cold freaking crazy with a center, looks like they'll have their choice of any center on the board there. But, do they go in the first round with that, or do they wait for the second, or do they wait for a 3rd round pick to grab a center? Have to wait and see. But I'm still waiting here. Ravens still on the clock, right? So then you got upcoming. Then you got the Vikings. The Vikings, they could use a wide receiver maybe to go with Jefferson, right? Jefferson is a taller kind of guy. They could use somebody maybe smaller, a little shorter, right? So don't be surprised if if they don't take an Addison or a Flowers. I mean, if you look at just talking and listening to a lot of people, I'm not talking, I listen to a lot of people. Some of them fall in love with Zay Flowers. Oh, Zay Flowers he's my top wide receiver. You know what I mean? Then you listen to other people, and they're like, some people are just totally over the moon with Addison. Most people I heard were in Jigba as the number 1 wide receiver. And it seems like that came true because he was the first one to wind up going. But the Ravens still on the clock. They can't have much more than like about 3 minutes left to go, 3-4 minutes left to go. But I said, but the next two, right? According to PFF, the Ravens and the Vikings both need wide receiver help. Okay, because I think Thielen is gone from, as I said, from the Vikings, so they could certainly use wide receiver help. Okay, and it would also wind up being, par for the course if like the run on wide receivers just wiped them all out before they got to the Giants. But I'm saying, that wouldn't work out bad if the Giants, wanted to grab a cornerback, right? But it's really, really getting exciting here. But I said, but also now we're also in the strike zone too. If Shane was in love with one of these guys, he can certainly jump up without question, jump up like 3 spots, right? Trade away maybe a first and a fifth, maybe, to jump up 3 spots. Or maybe it might have to be a first and a fourth, but just to jump up 3 spots and grab, if he was in love with Banks or in love with Porter Jr. So, yeah, how about the Lamar Jackson, 5 years, 260, because it has to be more than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had 255. Well, I want more than him, so he's got to have 260. Although it's hard to argue because, to me, Lamar Jackson has proved himself a lot more than Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts was given everything, you know what I mean? But the most guaranteed money, Kyler Murray, $189.5 million. Guaranteed money. Unbelievable. Okay, Zay Flowers. Yep. It continues. Zay Flowers off the board. So Addison is the only wide receiver left out of the Fab Four, shall we say. So he's off the board. The wide receiver, the run on wide receivers still continuing. Okay. Zay Flowers, gone. Right. So we have Jigba, gone. Johnston, gone. Flowers, gone. All we got is Addison left. But as I said, I keep saying once again, now we're down to the Fab Four. The Giants, they're 3 picks back. They got the Vikings, the Jaguars, and the Giants. Okay. They're guaranteed to have Banks, the cornerback, Joey Porter Jr., the cornerback, Addison, or Brian Branch, or probably any pick of any center that they wanted. Okay. Now the thing is, is that why the Vikings need wide receiver help. According to ESPN, which I got on my computer over here, and PFF, they both say the Vikings could use wide receiver. Okay. So their pick is the Ravens pick is in. So, do they take Addison? That wouldn't be a bad pick at all. That would be a really good pick. Okay, here comes the commissioner. He's going to announce Zay Flowers, Ravens. So, all right. So it's kind of telling you, because I don't know. PFF says they need a defensive lineup, cornerback, and wide receiver. So, honestly, they could use a wide receiver. Yeah, but let's also be honest here. The Vikings defense was pathetic last year. The Giants offense looked really good against them. Daniel Jones looked like Joe Montana out there, just marching them up and down the field. Saquon getting these big holes, couple long touchdown runs for Saquon, right? So don't be surprised if they don't take defensive help too, because that was their Achilles heel last year. It wasn't like they couldn't score points. They were scoring some points. They need defensive help. So maybe they'll go defense, right? But as I said, so the Vikings have about 6 minutes left to go. 6 minutes to go for the Minnesota Vikings. All right. I'm saying, but their Achilles heel last year was their defense was absolutely horrible. So, if their defense is pathetic as it was, if they want to go on offensive help, okay. So, especially if you have a couple good cornerbacks out there, that might be to their advantage if they wind up taking a cornerback. So we'll have to wait and see. But as I said, the Giants are guaranteed to have one of those guys there. Now, the one thing is, which you'll never know, is that, did they want did they want Zay Flowers and say they get Addison? They're never gonna admit it. Yeah, we wanted Addison all the time. Yeah, he was our guy. He felt to us, we're happy. No, I mean, did they really want Zay Flowers, or did they want a Jigba? Did they want John? Was Addison was the fourth one of their, they're always going, no, he was our guy all along. Joe Shane, oh yeah, that's the guy. He felt to us. We're good. Yeah, so you're never going to know that. Okay, says they got a little over 5 minutes left to go. All right, they got about 4.5 minutes to go. My bad. Pick is still on the clock. Vikings still on the clock. But, you're never going to know. Same thing with the cornerbacks. If Joey Porter Jr. falls to them, but they wanted Gonzalez. Oh, no, we wanted Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, all the time. Oh, no, Gonzalez. Who? We didn't want him. We wanted Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, he felt to us. We're good. Yeah, so you're never going to know. That's one of those things you'll never know. All right. 4 minutes to go for the Vikings, still on the clock. As I said, they can use cornerback. And I'm they need defense. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Branch too. They need defensive help, period. So, if they took, cornerback, Branch, the safety, or a wide receiver, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So we'll have to wait and see. But 3.5 minutes to go. And I said, then the Jaguars are next. Says here, now the Jaguars could use a guard, like maybe Osiris Torrance. They said, according to PFF, they can use a center, edge, cornerback, or safety now, right? Safety. All right. So, safety, Brian Branch, maybe, right? So it'd be interesting to see. But it doesn't look like the Giants are, jumping up at all. So it looks like they're going to be staying put. All right. Now, it'd be interesting also because now let's not forget what happened. Now, who's right behind the Giants? Cowboys. If, say, Banks falls, Banks is available at number 24, right? It says here, according to PFF, the Cowboys could use a cornerback, right? If Banks falls to 24, does Jerry Jones get on the phone and call Jacksonville and offer them a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick just to jump in front of the Giants? Now, it wouldn't be the first time the Cowboys jumped in front of the Giants. The Cowboys jumped in front of the Giants. I don't know if the Giants were even going to take Biotish. But a couple of years ago, in the third or fourth round it was, Biotish, the center from Wisconsin, was there. He jumped up in about 5, 6, 7 spots or so, jumped a couple spots in front of the Giants, snagged Biotish, the center. Just because, and as I said, I don't know if the Giants were going to take him or not. I have no idea. But, they jumped up in front before, right? And then so I forget how the Eagles jumped in front of the Giants, right? They switched with the Cowboys, right, to grab DeVonta Smith. So let's not forget that. So don't be surprised. I mean, if like the Cowboys, well, it says they don't need. Well, I mean, the Cowboys, honestly, the Cowboys could use a tight end. They just got rid of Schultz, lost them in free agency. So if they would take Mayer, that would be, for them, that would be absolutely perfect. I think if Mayer felt, if the Giants needed a tight end, they didn't have Waller. I could see maybe Mayer, maybe. And then I could see maybe Cowboys maybe jumping in front of the Giants, maybe to snatch him. But the Giants don't need a tight end, right? Because they just got Waller. Vikings still on the clock. They got 45 seconds to go. Interesting. But I mean, I said I could see, if the Giants needed a tight end and Mayer was still there at 23 or whatever, something, the Vikings don't need a tight end. I could see then like the Cowboys trying to jump in front of the Giants, maybe to grab Mayer, the tight end or something like that. But I said, but don't be surprised. The Cowboys have done it before. If they for whatever reason they jump in front of the Giants to grab like Banks or Porter Jr. or something like that, and they trade with the Jaguars, don't be surprised. Right? So it's happened before, and it's a divisional opponent, so it could certainly happen again. Right? The Vikings pick is in. It says their pick is in, so any second. Hopefully this will update any second, and I'll find out who the Vikings pick is. Because they used the Vikings used like the whole 10 minutes. They had like about 30 seconds left to go. They finally got the pick in. All right, so now we got two. Yep, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Every wide receiver gone. Addison gone. So the top four. All gone. So they lost Thielen. So now they got Addison to go with Jefferson. They got Hawkins. They got Cook. Unless they cut him. Because I think they want him to take a pay cut or something like that. Or so, I mean, if they keep him, just saying, if they don't cut, right? They'll have Cook. They'll have Hawkinson. They'll have Addison. They'll have Jefferson. Holy crap. They still have no defense, but their offense, the Vikings offense, very impressive. Okay, so Addison, gone. Now, the Jaguars are on the clock. Okay. Once again, now they can use it. They need, according to PFF. Hold on. Okay. According to PFF and ESPN, the Jaguars need a cornerback. I don't see. According to ESPN, they need a tight end as well, too. So if they were to take that would help out Trevor Lawrence a lot. They got Mayer, a good overall, good, solid tight end. Somebody can, probably the best overall tight end. Maybe not the fastest, maybe not the one with the best hands, the best this, the best that, or whatever, but the best overall tight end would be Mayer. So if the Jaguars were to take him, may not be too bad. May not be too bad if they were to take Mayer, right? But it says they also need a cornerback. What do we got? Okay, they got about 7 minutes left to go. The Jaguars, 7 minutes to go, and then the Giants are on the board. Now, it'll be interesting to see. Did the Cowboys jump up, try to grab somebody? Up, trade. Whoa, Giants on the clock, baby. Giants on the clock. Trade. Shane, pull the trigger, baby. Now, let's see who he's going after. Now, why did he jump up? Is he afraid the Cowboys were going to jump up or something like that? Giants trade. There you go, guys. Giants on the clock right now. Pick 25. Now, what did he give up? He gave up pick 25. What else? Hopefully I'll see what they wind up giving up. But did he have to give up a fifth round? Did he have to give up? It shouldn't have been a fourth. Maybe a fifth or sixth, maybe. Six wouldn't be bad to jump up one spot to trade to move up one spot to give away your 6th round pick. That wouldn't be too bad. But Shane had somebody there. I like that. Somebody, because he's afraid. I mean, as I'm saying, the one thing, as I said, let's not forget. Well, he jumped up for a reason. The pick is going to be in about 3 seconds. You jump up for a reason because there's a guy there. They're handing the card in right now as we speak. They're not sitting there. Well, should we take this? No. They're the card is being in. Yeah, we moved up. Yep. On the Giants on the clock, baby. Yeah. Giants. Yeah. But they jumped up for a reason, right? maybe afraid, as I said, maybe worrying about the Cowboys trading with the Jaguars, jumping in front of the Giants and grabbing somebody. So there must be somebody, whether it's one of those two cornerbacks, maybe the center, because all the wide receivers are gone. All wide receivers are gone. Okay. Giants have 5.5 minutes to go. But I mean, if their pick is not in, I mean, I'd be kind of shocked. I mean, because you're jumping up for a reason. Okay. So, but I said, about interesting to see what they had to give up. Hopefully they'll show what the Giants gave up. I mean, it had to be a third round, a day 3 pick. You know, it's not a second or a third, which is great. So he kept his first, his second, his third. Great. Hopefully he kept the 4th. Okay. Hopefully they kept the 4th. Okay, which would be great because I mean, obviously the lower down in the draft you got, right? You know, the chances of a 4th round pick being a better contributor than a 5th round are a little higher. Okay, so we should have kept the 4th round pick. Okay, did we have to give up one of our 5th round picks or a 6th? Because we have 2 5ths, right? Giants pick is in. Giants pick is in, baby. Who do we get? I'm waiting for it to update. Giants pick is in, guys. Pick is in. Come on. Pick is in. Let's see who it is. Who do we get? Who do we get? Banks. Got the cornerback. Got Banks. There you go. There you go. We got our cornerback. Banks is in the house, baby. I guess they wanted Banks over I guess they wanted Banks over I guess they didn't want Branch. And Joey Porter Jr. So for whatever reason, I don't know why. They wanted. I guess they were just enamored with Banks, which is cool. I saw a couple mock drafts. Actually, guys talking about maybe Banks. You know what I mean? Taking Banks. So I mean, it worked out well. So I really, the guy from Maryland. So I really think that's a good pick. Good overall pick for the Giants. Okay. Pick is in. Banks. Welcome to the New York Giants. We got ourselves a cornerback. Gotta love it. Okay, so now we're just going to run out the rest of the picks here. All right, we got all right, so we got the Jaguars on the clock now, but I'll be hard. I have a hard time believing we're going to be jumping back into the first round at all or anything like that. But Deonte Banks, we got ourselves a cornerback, guys. So when Adoree Jackson is probably gone after this season's over with, hopefully we got our cornerback. We got a 5-year. Okay. 5th round. Oh, wow. Wow. The Giants gave up the 5th and a 7th. So the 7th. Okay. So so that worked out well. Now they're just showing Dable talking to him on the phone. Shane's there. Mr. Mara's there, right? They're all chest bumping. They're all clapping. They're all smiling. Got Banks. Got that good old Banks. That's good. Very, very good. So, I mean, it says when Adoree Jackson is gone after this year, right, we got ourselves a cornerback. Now, the thing is that, going forward next season, okay, who's going to be the other cornerback? But at least we know we got, because after this season's over with, there's a good chance. We're not honest to God, honest to goodness. There's a real good chance, okay, that we need 2 cornerbacks, right? We got one. All right. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know who, they can consider, after the season's over with, is Rodarius, because Rodarius Williams. I'm sorry, Aaron Robinson. I'm sorry. Gets injured a lot. Can they depend upon him? Rodarius Williams last season, the last few weeks, quite a few weeks, he was a healthy scratch. So, I don't know if he's in the future for the Giants, right? Here we go. Roger Goodell. New York Giants pick. Yeah. Yes. 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 6 foot, almost 200 pounds. 32-inch freaking vertical jump. He had shoulder injury 2021. Didn't allow a reception of over 30 yards all year. Right? Deontay Banks, what an athlete. Banks went 4.35 in a 40-yard dash. Are you freaking kidding me? Guys, we're talking, oh my God, 42-inch vertical. Okay. 11.4. Buffalo Bills on the clock. Buffalo Bills on the clock. Traded up with the Jaguars. Wow. Okay. I'll tell you what. I bet you they jumped up. I bet you they might be taking Joey Porter Jr. because it says they need a cornerback. So I bet you they jumped up to take the final cornerback. Let's see if the Bills take Joey Porter Jr. That'd be interesting to see. But honestly, guys, Banks. Oh yeah. Yes. 11-foot 4-inch broad jump. Are you you kidding me? You go anywhere near 11 feet. 11-foot 4 inches. He almost broad jumped 11.5 feet. Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. 42-inch vertical. Holy crap. 4.35 40. Holy freaking crap. Wow. What obviously you got to play football. So don't get me wrong. All right. But he's 6 foot tall, 197 pounds, almost 200, right? He's 22 years old. Okay. Oh, they took Dalton Kincaid. Oh, you know why? The Buffalo jumped up to trade with the Jaguars to get in front of the Cowboys, who were going to take a tight end. Now, the Cowboys can take Mayer, right? And still knock it out of the park. But the Buffalo Bills jumped in front of the Cowboys. They traded with the Jaguars to jump in front of the Cowboys to take Kincaid. They wanted Kincaid, and they didn't want Kincaid. They didn't think the Kincaid would be there when they were drafted. That's where you jump in front of teams. You jump up, okay, to draft somebody, right? So they drafted Kincaid. So they got themselves to help Josh Allen out, okay? Help him out with a tight end. So I guess they thought maybe the Cowboys might be going after Kincaid. But honestly, I tell you what, if you look, the Cowboys could take Mayer, and it would still be a kind of a home run. So it is what it is. But let's see. All right, so now the Cowboys are on the clock. What do we got? So we got 6 picks left. 6 picks left. So, and don't forget, I'm going to be here going live tomorrow night too. I'll be here for rounds 2 and 3. I won't be live on Saturday, but for all those, I'll have a video. I'll be going live Saturday night after all the drafts over, so we can go over all the picks and everything like that. But I'll be going live tomorrow. So I don't know if it starts at like 7 o'clock tomorrow, somewhere around there. So, but I'll be going live tomorrow. So what do we got? The Cowboys are on the clock. Interesting to see who they take. It says here they need a corner. I mean, they could take Joey Porter Jr. That would be a home run. Will Levis is still waiting. Will Levis. Wow. Still sitting there. Well, I said Levis is still there, right? But I mean, if the Cowboys, there's still some good tight ends if they're going to draft a tight end, okay? But I said Joey Porter Jr. is still out there, and according to PFF, it says the Cowboys could use a cornerback. So don't be surprised if they wind up taking Joey Porter Jr. too. So they could take Mayer or they could take Joey Porter Jr. Now, Mayer might not be a bad pick, especially to help the offense out. I know Jerry likes to go, take home run, what I mean, like Zeke, right? And maybe CeeDee Lamb and, a lot of these guys in the first round and all that, a lot of, so don't be surprised if he doesn't take Mayer. That would be, I said, that would be a good pick for the Cowboys. Not that I'm pulling for him or nothing like that, but we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, that would be a good pick for him. So, but they took Buffalo took Kincaid, right? Dalton Kincaid they took tight end. So that'll really, really help Josh Allen a lot. Bills pick is in. There you go. Now the first tight end goes. Now they're going to have run. I mean, they're going to, sometimes they get, they're going to start having runs on tight ends. Right. So we'll have to wait and see. Wow. I said against USC, Dalton Kincaid, he had 16 targets his way. He had 16 catches. They threw him the ball 16 times. He had 16 catches against USC. I mean, the thing is with him, he's a phenomenal receiver. Great, could track the ball, great hands and all that, everything. Don't expect a whole hell of a lot, in the running game. I mean, at the line of scrimmage and all that and everything. But I mean, he's good at high ball and coming down with the ball and everything like that. So I'll tell you what, Kincaid's going to do well for Allen. You know what I mean? So, all right. So what do we got? The Cowboys still on the clock. Cowboys got about 4.5 minutes left to go. After that, and then we got the Jaguars, the Bengals, then we got the Saints, then we got the Beagles, and then we got the Chiefs. So Cowboys on the clock. As I said, they could use a cornerback, defensive line out, running back, linebacker. I don't know why that, according to PFF, they don't have tight end here. Now they just lost Schultz. So, I mean, Mayer would be a perfect pick for them. I think He would help their blocking, right? Their offensive blocking. Good solid tight end. I mean, I think he'd be good pick. Yeah. Jason Witten, Mayer. Yeah. Yeah. Anderson is Morton Anderson was saying, somebody who reminds him of anything of like a Jason Witten would be Mayer. He's close, Michael Mayer. He the closest one to like a Jason Witten. So, I mean, I said that would be I think that would be a really good pick for the Cowboys if they were to wind up grabbing him. It's on the clock. They got about 2.5 minutes to go. So I don't know. See, sometimes also it's like it seem like they take their time. Maybe they're kind of hoping maybe the phone might ring so they can maybe trade out of their pick, collect another draft pick or something like that or whatever. So maybe that's why. But I mean, the Cowboys. I mean, I'm sure they know who they're going to pick, but they're still kind of waiting to see. Maybe somebody will try to call them, see if they can maybe do. So they got 2 minutes, under 2 minutes to go. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I think Mayer would be a slam dunk for the Cowboys. There was a showing here on ESPN Mayer's a good blocker. He's a good block. They're doing a lot of comparison with him with Witten. Witten's a good blocker as well too. So yeah, I mean, so let me see. His pick's got to be in soon. Oh, they got a minute to go. He's still on the clock. Minute to go. So and he was a consensus All-American, Mayer. So they need a cornerback. I could see him taking Joey Porter Jr. or Mayer. The pick must be in. They're all clapping and stuff and everything. They're all Jerry's standing up, shaking hands with the son, and they're all chest bumping and pumping their fists. Yeah. So their pick is in. They got 26 seconds to go. Their pick is in. I don't quite see who it is yet. It hasn't upgraded yet here. But they, for whatever reason, I don't know why they took their whole 10 minutes. I don't know. But the pick is in. The Cowboys pick is in. Oh, my freaking. They took Azeez Smith. Okay. Well, he's not bad. I'm a little shocked. So they took Smith, the guy from Michigan. Azeez Smith. So I'm a little shocked. Little shocked. Now the Jaguars are on the clock. Actually, they keep talking about taking a tight end, but they took Smith. So see, see on ESPN, they're talking about the tight end makes a lot more sense than Smith does. But they took Smith. The Cowboys took Smith from Michigan. So to help their run defense. Their run defense was rather porous last year. I mean, that was their one Achilles heel big time on their defense. It was their run defense. So taking Smith from Michigan helped shore that up. So, right? But I mean, I don't know. To me, I would have taken Mayer. I mean, you got All-American, a really good tight end. They lost Schultz. I think Mayer was kind of like a no-brainer, but it is what it is. So they took Smith. The Cowboys got Smith from Michigan. So now on the clock we got the Jaguars. Okay. So what we got? 1, 2, 5 more picks. And here comes the commissioner to announce the Cowboys pick. Smith, Michigan. Mozzie Smith. So he's like inside. So I mean, he'll help with their run defense. You know what I mean? So that'll certainly help. Say he's Smith. He's a mountain of a man, so it'll be hard to move him out. He's very, very good against the run. So I mean, that'll certainly help the Cowboys out. I said honestly, I really, really would have, without question, would have thought that they would have taken Mayer. I mean, but here's what it is. All right, so now the Jaguars are on the clock. They got 6 minutes left to go. We got 6 picks left. We got the Jaguars. We got the Bengals. We got the Saints. We got the Beagles coming up, and then we got the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, who kicked the living crap out of the Beagles in the Super Bowl. So now it says Joey Porter Jr. is still out there. Brian Branch is still out there. It says the Jaguars need cornerback and a safety. Okay. This says they could also use a center as well, too. So, all the centers are still available. All right. I said, but now we got our cornerback. Okay. Right. So, but the beauty of it too is now we got this year, we got Banks and we got Adoree Jackson. Now we got our 2 cornerbacks. Okay. So now our 2 cornerbacks. Okay. We'll have to see who's going to battle it out for the slot. Okay. But the good thing is now we can have a little bit better chance of matching up with DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Okay. One of the hardest things we had, is matching up against a team that has 2 really good wide receivers, right? And a hard time matching that up. Okay. But now we have, right this year anyway, we got 2 good cornerbacks. Interesting to say, if when Banks comes in, they're going to battle it out, see who wins the job. But it'd be interesting to see, does Banks overtake Adoree Jackson? Does Adoree Jackson slide over to the receiver number 2? Be interesting to see, because quite possibly next season Banks is going to be asked to take over cornerback number 1. So I have to wait and see. Let's see. Is there picking yet? Nope, still on the clock. So Jaguars, the pick is in. Jaguars pick is in. It says they can use a guard, a center. Osiris Torrance is out there. Right. So now let's not forget the Giants gave up one of their 5th round picks and one of their 7th round picks. So that's fine. Just to move up 1 spot. Okay. So now basically they have, the Giants have a 2nd, Giants have a 3rd, Giants have a 4th. They took, the Jaguars took the tackle, Harrison from Oklahoma. Okay. He was like, I think he's the final tackle who has a 1st round grade. Okay. So they're all the tackles are pretty much gone. Okay. So Harrison, Jaguars took Harrison from the tackle from Oklahoma. So we got 4 teams left. Joey Porter Jr. still out there. Branch is still out there. So it'd be interesting to see. Right. I mean, I don't see the Giants trading up, this far to get back into the first round. I mean, that would be, that would just be too much, I think. Too much for them to, trade up. Too much draft capital for them to give up. So, but so we got Bengals on the clock. What do they got? Bengals pick. Bengals. Bengals guys, maybe about 7 minutes to go, somewhere around there. Bengals need a tight end. They could take Mayer. Man, wouldn't that help out? Man, wouldn't that be amazing? Right? To help out the Bengals. Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and they get Mayer. Wow. That would be really nice. For the Bengals, they would take Mayer. Wow. Right? T. Higgins, Burrow, Mayer, Chase. Wow. That would be the Fab 3 right there, baby. That would be a real nice. I would just turn that card right in. Then of course Branch is out there too. They said according to PFF, the Bengals need a safety. So, but obviously nobody coming up needs a nobody coming up looks like they need a quarterback. They keep showing Will Levis all the time. They keep him still sitting there. So it looks like he's going to fall maybe to the second round. Will Levis. So, okay, here comes Roger Goodell to announce Harrison. Oklahoma. Tackle from Oklahoma. So he played mostly left tackle. So he'll but so the Bengals got about 5.5 minutes left to go. They're on the clock. We have 4 picks left in the first round here. Now I said, unless somebody trades up, unless somebody winds up trading up, have to wait and see. But I mean, because also you look too. I mean, if you want to trade back into the first round, you obviously, do you get your choice of, maybe you're somebody maybe you're eyeing up, go up and you trade up and you grab somebody. But you also, if you want, you got the guy for 5 years, right? You can take that 5th-year option, right? So, but I mean, it's still some good guys out there, right? As I said, Levis, but I mean, I don't know how good Levis is, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Saints. I don't know. Maybe Levis falls to the second round. So we'll have to see. But so you got the Bengals, then you got the Saints, then you got the Beagles, and then you got the Chiefs. Now the Saints, their pick came way of the 49ers. Okay. So, okay. There you go. The Bengals took Miles Murphy, edge from Clemson. Okay. So all right. So the Bengals took Miles Murphy off the board. Okay. So, I mean, so now the Saints are on the board. Says the Saints could use a center, a defensive edge. On the clock, and a cornerback. Okay, so there's 3 picks left in this draft, first round. The Saints are on the clock. They got their pick from the 49ers. I'm not exactly sure how they got that pick from the 49ers, but it says right here they got the pick number from the 49ers. I forgot who they traded to them. But, I mean, the Saints need a cornerback, right? They use a center. So, I mean, Joey Porter Jr. is still out there. So, I mean, Mayer's out there. So it's still got some good solid picks, right? I said, but I don't know if the Giants, I mean, what the Giants would have to give up to go from 57 to jump back into the first round. They'd have to give up a whole heck of a lot. So I think the Giants are going to be staying. But if anything, the Giants maybe jump from 57 down to maybe 50 or something like that. So that way they can get rid of maybe another 5th round pick or something like that. You know what I mean? So that might be maybe more tomorrow. But I mean, I'd be shocked if the Giants jump back into the first round this year in the first. So I said the Bengals took Miles Murphy from Cincinnati. So the Saints are on the clock. Saints, here we go. Here's the commissioner. Miles Murphy, defensive end, Clemson, for the Bengals. So that'll certainly help them out. But I'll tell you what, I don't know. Well, I said, I really would have thought, they might have taken. I don't know, maybe slipping, but I mean, it's a thing. As I said with the Bengals, I mean, if you got Higgins, if you got Mayer, you got Burrow throwing the ball, and you got Jamar Chase, I mean, that would be impressive. But all right, so we got the Saints on the clock. We got three teams left, right? Got the Saints, the Beagles, then the Chiefs. So I could see, I wouldn't be shocked if the Beagles took Porter Jr. if he falls to them. Because what it would allow the Beagles to do, as I said, because they got Slay and they got Bradbury, but those guys are expensive. Okay. That would, if for some reason, if they would take Joey Porter Jr., just saying, it would allow them, okay, to get rid of Slay or Bradbury after this season, save themselves a bunch of money, okay, and have themselves a really good cornerback. So, but I said, but right now we still got the Saints on the clock. Saints got about 5.5 minutes left to go. All right, but we're dwindling down. 3 picks to go in the first round here. It's over. But I'll tell you what, overall, I think the Giants really did good. I mean, getting Banks, I think really did good. Okay. So I said, that now we know this year going to this season, okay, we got Banks, we got Adoree Jackson, we got 2 cornerbacks. So anytime we're going up against, especially going up a team especially of the caliber of like the Eagles with Brown and Smith. I mean, for some reason, playing any other team with good 2 wide receivers, we can hopefully kind of match up decently with them. Okay. Then we'll have all those other guys, battling it out. Okay. For who's going to play in a slot. You know what I mean? Is it going to be Aaron Robinson, who, I believe Aaron Robinson was in the slot quite a bit, I think, in college. I think. But then the Giants tried him out wide. Once again, can he stay healthy? Darnay Holmes, is he in the Giants' future going forward? Who knows? Flott will be around because he was a draft pick last year, so he'll be on the team. He might be the slot guy. I said, but after this season's over with, right, the Saints got 4 minutes to go. I'm saying, but after this season's over with, the Giants are going to need probably another cornerback because they're going to let probably Adoree Jackson go because it doesn't seem like they're extending his contract at all. Going to try to, extend his contract or do anything with him. So he might be gone after this season's over with. Okay. So, I mean, the Giants did good. All right. But I said the Saints are on the clock. The Saints says, so it doesn't look like Will Levis is going to get taken. Right? Looks like Will Levis is going to be sitting there and it may quite possibly get taken next year, next round. So, but all right, the Saints got about 3 minutes to go. Saints are on the clock. Then the Beagles, then the Chiefs. But all in all, I mean, you got to be very, very happy. You know, as I said, I mean, the one nice thing is that we had 10 picks. Actually, we had 11, right? We traded one away for Waller. Okay. Then we jumped up one spot. Up. Brizay, Brian Brizay. They took, okay, good pick. The Saints, Brian Brizay. All right. There you go. Kind of wondering about him, if he was going to go or not. Okay, so that's a good pick. Good pick, Brian Brizay, the defensive lineman from Clemson. So now the Beagles are on the clock. We got 2 picks left. Beagles and then the Chiefs. Interesting to see where the Beagles go. I said, don't. There's still obviously some real good picks out there. You know, I would, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles needed a tight end. I could see them, but they don't really need a tight end. They got 2 good cornerbacks, but don't be surprised if they don't take Joey Porter Jr. You know, he's still sitting there, right? So we'll have to wind up waiting and see, right? So we got 2 picks left, guys. 2 picks left in the first round, and then but almost 3.5 hours. So it's not too bad. 32 picks in about 3.5 hours. Not too bad all in all. I can't say I'm still sitting here wanting to wait to see what the Beagles pick, but it is what it is. So defensive tackle. Yes, I said this. So the Beagles took a defensive tackle. So the Beagles need. Is that safety? Yeah, safety. I mean, they could take Branch. ESPN says that they need a safety. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what, if they take Branch, that may not be a bad pick. That may not be bad. The Beagles are on the Beagles about 8 minutes to go. Somewhere around there. 8 minutes left on the clock. Somewhere in there. I'm saying, but if the Beagles were to take Brian Branch, that may not be a bad pick for them either. So I forget he's still on the board. Right? Okay, here comes Roger Goodell to announce Brian Brizay from Clemson. Brian Brizay, defensive tackle from Clemson. Big dude. Big dude. Wow. So I mean, with Brizay, I mean, he seemed to slip a little bit. I mean, I seen possibly like, you know, top 15 or 20 or so. So now he almost made it to number 30, but he's good. Number 11, good solid pick. I mean, he'll help their interior defensive line for sure, without question. You know, he's got some moves to him, so he'll certainly help. So the Eagles got about 6.5 minutes to go, and they're on the clock. And then after that, we got the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, who opened up a can of whoop butt on the Philadelphia low-life loser Beagles. They have the last pick in this draft in the first round here. Okay, then we come back and do it all again tomorrow. But we got from Chicago. Okay, Pittsburgh has got the first. I'm not sure how they got that, but Pittsburgh has got the Bears pick. So Pittsburgh is picking number 1 in round 2. Okay, got Pittsburgh. All right, so they got the Bears pick. So the Pittsburgh, they're going to get themselves a really, really good, pick. So No, we'll have to wait and see. Beagles still got over 5 minutes to go. They're still on the clock. But I mean, I can certainly tell you what, if they were to take Branch, that wouldn't be a bad pick at all. Well, it says the Beagles need a center, a guard, because they lost Samolo, so they could use a guard. Osiris Torrance may not be a bad pick for the Beagles either. Right? I mean, they have this chance of any good. Nolan Smith is still out there. Nolan Smith from Georgia, the outside linebacker. He may not be a bad pick. Right? Mayer's still available, but I don't know. They got Goddard. Why would they waste a pick on how many tight ends do you want? You know what I mean? So, yeah. But they took Nolan Smith. There you go. Nolan Smith, the edge. Yep. From the Eagles. The Beagles took Nolan Smith, edge rusher from, once again, stockpiling the defensive front. Right? So that's the Beagles. They took an edge rusher and a defensive lineman, stockpiling that because they lost a couple of guys. Okay. They lost a couple of guys. I mean, I think they brought Cox back this year. I'd be kind of surprised if Cox is here next year. So, I mean, the Eagles, and plus I said then they took, was it Davis, whatever the guy from last year. So the Beagles, the 3 first-round picks between last year and this year, 3 first-round picks, all in the defensive line. Right. So the Beagles are serious about their defensive front. I mean, but I said, but year in and year out, right? The Beagles, defensive line, offensive line, maybe not drafting wise and all and everything, but it's the offense and defensive line all the time, right? Really, really, they just keep stockpiling. So I was just kind of surprised that Howie Roseman didn't do some wheeling and dealing just to trade up or trade back down or something like that, But so the Beagles they got themselves an edge rusher. So Nolan Smith, good pick. Now the Chiefs, where do they go? They need wide receiver, defensive line, edge rusher. I mean, I'm sure they can use a cornerback or a. So I'd be kind of shocked if Joey Porter Jr. actually slid to the second round. So somebody, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, the Steelers might want to pick at him, but we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, so it's going to be some really good picks in the second round. So, but I said Nolan Smith, the edge rusher from Georgia. All right, Kansas City Chiefs on the clock. They got, they have whatever, probably about 8 or 9 minutes left to go. And then the first round is officially in the books, guys. But I said, I'll be back again tomorrow night to do rounds 2 and 3. So whatever time it starts, like 7 o'clock or 7:30, something like that. So.
Before the pick has to come in. It's an interesting move they made earlier tonight, moving up the spot to take Jaylen Carter. So another really strong, powerful player on that defense. So there's a kid so down here. We'll probably see him in the second round that late. You know what? Stephen Taylor from TCU as the center who can get the job done.
Chiefs are on the clock. Got about 8 minutes to go. So. So. But I said, but you see what the Eagles keep doing. They keep restocking, right? The defensive line. Right? So I mean, you got to take, you got to take clues and what, I mean, you gotta give the Beagles credit, right? Much as I hate them, but you gotta give them a lot of credit. Oh, I have to rub my dog's belly. At the clock, the Chiefs are on the clock. The Chiefs got about like 6 minutes left to go. Then this will be over. So, but the cool thing about this is how cool is this? The Super Bowl champion. I mean, the draft. Okay, is that's where the draft is at. It's in Kansas City. The Super Bowl champions are in. Right. The last time the draft was actually held in a Super Bowl winning, I believe, was the Giants when Radio City Music Hall, when it was held in 2012. The Giants were the defending Super Bowl champions. So. All right. Ooh. So Jason and Travis Kelce's mom, I guess, is going to introduce the Nolan Smith. So. Okay. Jason and Travis Kelce's mom is going to introduce the Beagles pick. Nolan Smith. So once again, the Beagles are just adding to that. To the overall. Yeah. So basically, the Eagles are just drafting everybody from Georgia. So the Chiefs have 5 minutes left to go. And then this is over. Nolan Smith, 6'2". Yeah, so I mean, they're going to be the Eagles are going to be very, very tough. They have a good defensive front. They're going to be very, very tough for years to come. Yeah, we can rush the quarterback. They'll be probably pretty stout against the run. So I mean, as I said, so the Giants are going to definitely have their work cut out for them. Trying to stop, especially the Eagles. Okay, it'll be very, very tough. So that's why hopefully Neal can step up a little bit this year. And Andrew Thomas, right? We got to find out what we're doing with the interior because, as I said, I mean, it's tough to go far if you never win your division. I mean, if you can't beat the teams in your division, if you can't beat the Cowboys, if you can't beat the Eagles, because if you can't beat them during the regular season, and then it's, we did it, against the Cowboys in 2007. They won the division. We beat that one on the road and beat them in the playoffs and all and everything. But if you can't beat them during the regular season, and then you go on the road against the Beagles and they beat the living crap out of you, right? It's so tough to, I mean, what I'm saying, but the Eagles, they just keep reloading the defensive front. And, if we can't block, we can't run, if we can't protect the quarterback, it's going to be another, I'm not saying it'll be a long season, but it's just could be some long games against the Philadelphia Beagles, right? So you take it, so hopefully maybe we can get ourselves maybe a center, that would be phenomenal. What we got? Chiefs are still on the clock. They got about 3.5 minutes. The Chiefs got about 3.5 minutes to go. All right, then the final pick will be in the first round. Will be in the books, guys. But what I'm saying is that, and we look at what the Cowboys did too. They took Smith from Michigan. What did they do? They restocked the defensive front. So if you look between the Philadelphia Beagles and the Cowgirls, right, they had 3 first-round picks. All were on the defensive front. Edge, interior defensive line. Okay, so right. I mean, some of it was also, trying to go, maybe the Cowboys also took it against, they took the defensive lineman also to help maybe slow down the Eagles' run game too. Okay, but as I said, you got to remember, the Eagles are, do you want to go another season? Well, let's try this guy at center. Let's try that guy at center. Do you want to, you know what I mean? So hopefully, maybe in the second round, the nice thing is all the centers are still there. Avila is still there, right? We got Whippler is there, right? We got Titman's there. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt's there, right? So we got all the centers are there, right? The nice thing with Avila is that he can play either guard or center. Flexibility there, okay? A lot of people seem to think he might be more of a kind of a guard kind of guy, okay, than a center. The Chiefs are still on the clock. They got 2 minutes to go. They're for what I guess could also be with the Chiefs. They're just holding on for a long period of time. See if somebody wants to call up and trade back into the first round, which is huge. Because if they trade back into the first round, right, you get 5 years on the first round pick. Okay, so that's why maybe the Chiefs are taking almost the whole time. All right, but they're down. They got about a minute and a half left to go. So any second now, the Chiefs pick will be in. Okay, and we'll find out who they want to pick, and we can wrap this up for the night. But I said, you got to start taking a good look at what the Eagles are doing. Right? I'm sorry, the Beagles, right? What they're doing, right? We're gonna need some good blocking. Just fancy this and fancy that may not be working against the Beagles. All right, they're gonna be able to send some guys. They're gonna have pressure, right? They might have a really good time of stopping the run, right? So, so I mean, let's hope. Okay, that that maybe we get ourselves a center going forward. That would be really, really nice because we can use it. But so the Chiefs have got 30 seconds to go. The Chiefs pick is in. The Chiefs pick is in. Who did they take? I mean, Porter Jr.'s there. Mayer's there. They got a lot of guys. Branch is there, right? They can maybe pick a wide receiver, right? So we're interesting to say. But any second now, we should find out what the Chiefs' pick is, and then round 1 of the 2023 NFL Draft will be in the books. Final pick. The pick is in. Waiting for Roger Goodell to come up. Oh, they took, oh my God, Azuma, the edge from K-State. Felix Azuma. So they took themselves. So Azuma, the edge from K-State. So all the picks are in the books for round 1. The Giants got themselves a cornerback, got themselves Banks. Good, solid pick. I'm going to say it's been 3 hours and 45 minutes of me just basically just talking. I don't want to totally lose my voice for tomorrow night. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. The Chiefs, the last pick is in. They took Azuma, the edge from K-State. Giants got themselves a cornerback. Good pick. Hopefully tomorrow night, maybe we get ourselves a wide receiver or a center. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But, guys, it's been 3 hours and almost 45 minutes of me just pretty much talking straight. And so I'm going to wrap it up for now. And anybody that spent any time at all with me here tonight, I greatly appreciate it. Terrence, as always, thank you for your comments. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. For anybody who watches the replay this, once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got 2 thumbs ups. Greatly appreciate it. I can use all the support and love I can get. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm signing off, guys. Go Giants. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.